Getting out of here in a couple of hours, though, so. It's such a long day, man. I gotta get some coffee in my system. It's just boring, you know? Nothing ever happened. No. No. No, no, no! I gotta go! I gotta go!
Hey! Everything okay?
Oh, no! Oh, no, 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 no!
Welcome to Strike Force. You are an elite battle squad assembled to defend Earth. This is who we're up against. The alien warlord Ultimus and his Kree soldiers who have joined forces with Hydra and AIM. Now, I know some of you aren't used to fighting side by side with each other, but the world needs you to put aside your feuds and stand together. Any questions?
I am Groot.
Any other questions? All right, it's go time. Now get out there and save the world.
You need help with your Marvel Strike Force game? Then come down to the school of the Game Father. Valley Flyin' did, and he learned that you can't beat the Game Father. Valley Flyin'. That's right, I'm the 3-time Super Sunday Red Stip Blitz Orb champion. After I uppercutted Valley Flyin' in his vagina for the 3rd time, he went home and cried to his little mommy, and now I need a new challenger. Bring it, little boy. All with the fucking dope. I be ballin' like a
Gamers, keep on gaming because gamers are cool.
Alright gamers, keep on gaming because gamers are cool.
OMG.
It's so powerful, I can turn off the sun!
Harder. Can't believe this song. All right. What do we got to do? We got to do some promo codes. We got Blastaar kit right there, 127. See, we don't need that. Oh wait, let's do the promo code first. 1 million gold, 20,000 intel. Okay. Let's go in, and then we're gonna watch the. Let's do this real quick. Store. Nothing. All right, we're gonna go down here to player gift. And what is it? Blastaar Legend.
And then someone said, oh, my cat. Oh, can you see this? What are you doing? Hold on, I gotta get him. All right, yeah, let's do the other one. I have that one right here, the OOPS. Let's go, Dorky Dad. It's gonna give you intel. Yeah, these codes generally expire anyways a couple days. So we have 2 new codes. Happy face socks, I know, right? Oh, come on. What is going on? All right. What? There we go. All right. Let's see. Thank you. Did you pin it already? Thank you, Steven. All right. So yeah, we got codes. What happened with this? Sending power cores. Yeah. Did we get the payout yet on this? Because yesterday, before I logged off, this was like gonna potentially be a sore spot. Thank you, Dorky, for raiding me. We'll go it today. I don't know. This drives me crazy. All right, let's just restart that. All right, let's watch the strike spot while I'm restarting the game. I've not watched it yet.
Hold on. Blastaar has no cooldowns whatsoever. Greetings, Commanders. My name is Pathfinder, and today we're going to be doing a deep dive in the next legendary character, Blastaar. The director of Marvel Strike Force Combat Team, Matt Sheets, is here to go over the big details from his kit, including how the devs...
Is he wearing a... Okay, what is... you guys already see the video. I was going to say, what is the odds of Matt Sheets wearing a Hawaiian shirt? Not seeing this video, I'm going to say that the odds are... I'm going to say that they are 80%. Let's find out. All right, let's see. 80%? All right, let's see.
Use Blastaar to win. And then we'll cover how to unlock this legendary character at 7 stars for free. You don't want to miss a second, especially because we'll reveal a promo code later on in the video. Here's Matt Sheets to tell us all about Blastaar. Matt?
He's in person, and he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. All right, and so like Matt Sheets, he is the brains of character kits, combat design, the mechanics of the game, characters coming into the game, all of that stuff. So he has very little to do with events and or monetization or anything like that. So as an envoy, I feel like most of my communications outside of the community management group, which is Pathfinder, Lori, Stark, 90% of our communication was Matt Sheets. And just like Dorky Dad and even people say it about me, Valley Flying, like Juicy, Bendable, like what is it with like everybody being like plus 6 foot giants? And I don't know how tall Matt Sheets was, but I think he was in the order of 6'5". I mean, he is very tall. Yeah. All right, let's watch it. I feel like he was 6'5". I mean, I'm 6'1", probably shrunk, probably now down to 6 foot. If you want to watch this video on your own, I'm gonna pull it up right here. It's been almost 2 days since the Franklin rewards. That's going to be a potential fire. We'll see. You're all abnormal giants. Yes. Well, Johnny, you were there. I mean, how tall was he? 5. I'm 6'1", 6 foot. Johnny was there. Johnny is like what I would consider a like normal height, like what I would expect like a person to be. And like Matt Sheets is like, holy moly. Same thing with Dorky. He's like, holy moly. Same thing with Valley Fly. It's like, holy moly. So people are like giants. Oh my God. Path Daddy. I actually don't know if I've met Pathfinder in person. If I did, I'm an idiot and don't remember. I haven't met him since he's been a community manager. I wonder if I met him when I was going through a weird place in my life during that one event where like Venora was there and Heartgrave. Let's see. No, that's not it. Oh, there he is right there. So I have met him. Yeah, I have met him. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Pathfinder. I think the reason, well, this is when Cerebro was there and Venora, and then we've got Taco, we've got Run 7, Valley, Heartgrave, we've got Archangel, we got Lori, we've got oh my God, I know all these people's names. Updog and Benny Westside. I don't remember this guy's name. I know he did like the bots and everything. Is that Mac Italy? Anyways, Mac Italy, yeah. You feel so short. Oh, you're a cutie though. Oh, I can't say it like that. You're perfect. That's what I meant to say, Lori. Anyways, I want to talk about this photo here in a minute. I think it's important to talk about what was going on in my life at that moment. Because I'm going through it a little bit right now, and we'll talk about it later.
Welcome to Strike Spot. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm doing good. This is your first, post-strike time episode, so it's good to have you.
Yeah. I did a couple of those. I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, so...
Well, fuck me. I don't know. I have a mouth that says words. If I worked in a corporate environment, I would have been fired like 9 times over by now. I have like little to no ability to do things the right way. Holy shit.
Matt, we're here to talk about Blastaar. So I want to know from you first, why did the team select Blastaar as the next legendary character?
Yeah, so we were looking at, Age of Annihilus, the Negative Zone, and some of the other big bads are in the Negative Zone, and so Blastaar floated at the top of the list.
I just want to point out to you that it's taking all of my willpower to not click this right here. I suspect it is an Iron Man transformer. I have to do it. It has 60 million views. I gotta click on this. I don't know if I can watch this video until I click on this first. I have to do it. Like, my fingers say you must push this button. I have to do it. I have to do it. We cannot watch the video until I watch this. I will not be able to stop thinking about this. Oh no, this is a model. This is not a Transformers. I actually don't think, is this metal or plastic? I don't know. Well, it's the whole, you have to buy the whole, that's just one piece of the whole thing.
And so we are really excited to bring him to Marvel Strike Force.
What's the lore behind Blastaar? Is he a villain?
He is a villain. He's the king of his planet, and he rose in power and threatens not only other people in the Negative Zone, but also Fantastic Four and other people throughout the Marvel Universe.
Okay. It's really cool learning about the Negative Zone and all of these different unique characters and how just crazy powerful some of them are. And Blastaar is no exception. So we're going to be talking a lot about him today. So what's Blastaar's specialty? And
Pretty Ricky,
how much
Big
trouble am I
Spartan,
gonna
thank
be
you.
in if I'm facing somebody with Blastaar?
So Blastaar I'm very excited to talk about Blastaar. He has something we haven't done in a while. Gambit was the first one where his special and his ultimate abilities both do not require any energy to use. And so that is the big powerful part of his kit, where you have the freedom to use his abilities. His basic, his moniker is the Living Bomb Burst, so he has a new SAS effect that he gives himself called Bomb Burst that he gets off his basic. That his special...
Obviously that was test footage, holy shit. This is something that I've seen on test builds.
Moniker is the Living...
Like, I'm surprised they left this
Bomb
in.
Burst, so he has a new SAS effect.
I'm surprised that they chose this footage. Because this is... I'm just surprised they chose this footage, that's all. And also, there's no shadows. Oh boy. It's fine, I guess. I mean, it was an early test build, I don't know.
The fact that he gives himself called Bomb Burst, that he gets off his basic. That his special and ultimate both scale the more Bomb Burst he has, and then his passive ability is very powerful, where if one of his allies...
I don't even think that's test server. Usually the test server is pretty polished. So that's probably a straight up dev build. Generally, the stuff by the time it makes a test server doesn't have any things like that, or very rarely.
That's not a summon, uses their basic. He'll attack that primary target with an attack really similar to his basic from his passive, and give himself Bomb Burst that way.
Okay, so hold on a second here. Blastaar has no cooldowns whatsoever.
Correct.
So how exactly is he going to be gaining these Bomb Burst charges, and what do they do? I assume that those abilities have to do something with those, right?
Yeah, so he's mainly a Cosmic Crucible offense character, and so the way he gets those Bomb Bursts is not only off his basic, but also his assists, his ISO attacks, all also generate Bomb Burst. Whenever someone uses a basic on his team.
A striker then?
He'll also do an attack that generates bomb burst. Now, the basic is very powerful because it also gives him speed bar for himself, a big chunk of speed bar, 30% speed bar. So he's going to be going often the more he uses either his basic or his passive attack.
And is that anytime he uses his basic, regardless of how many bomb burst he has, he's going to be gaining 30%?
So yes.
He looks like he's Hulk-sized. Or how come Hulk can't look big like this guy? Look how big he looks.
Anytime he uses his
Doesn't he look larger than
basic, regardless of how many bomb burst he has?
Oh, they see him pivot. Oh my God. Anyways.
He's going to be gaining 30%.
So yes, after he uses basic, he'll always be getting that speed bar. And then bomb burst itself gives him speed also.
They may have designed this guy to be atrocious on defense. He already said specifically his main purpose is to play on offense. He said he's going to be an offense crucible character, right? Yeah, because that's the first thing I thought. If his ultimate basic, all that stuff is all the same cost, I imagine that's a AI nightmare and defensive nightmare as in not good. Like, I don't even know, right? We'll have to find out, but I would think maybe they just going to make him suck on defense so you don't use him on defense. I don't know.
In Cosmic Crucible on offense.
Okay. And I think that a lot of, people in the community were wondering about Quasar being, a single character that you can plug in anywhere. Blastaar is going to work in the same fashion, right? He's going to be a character that can plug into whatever team you want him to plug into. He doesn't have his own unique team.
Correct. He is a plug-and-play character designed for Cosmic Crucible, mainly just like how Quasar was designed on offense. He is also on offense. He doesn't have a dedicated team, but there are some characters that synergize really, really well with him. People that have a lot of basic attacks, Kohori's is...
Also, they're not being subtle about this anymore, right? They're not being subtle about Hellfire and all that. I mean, I think that's that. Probably... We're wrapping up Franklin tomorrow. This has to be in the blog on Friday because they're probably going to have a new character release, let's say by next week. Yeah, I'd be surprised if we don't have details and kits for Hellfire or whatever it's going to be. Something to do with Emma, right? Emma, Teenage Warhead, Sunspot, if I were to guess, right? Not next week? Okay. 420 Blaze It, oh my God. 420 Blaze It!
Very strong with Blastaar. Old Man Logan, where if you put Skirmisher on him and Striker on Blastaar, then he's getting all those assist attacks, also generating a lot of bomb burst for himself.
Oh, wow. So there's a lot of potential here to make some of these unique powerhouse characters even better when you plug Blastaar in there. So that's really cool. Can you tell me a little bit about the special and the ultimate? Because there's no cooldown, how are those abilities going to work? Like, let's just start with his ultimate. What's unique about his ultimate?
Yeah, so his ultimate's an attack all. It does a decent amount of piercing, and then it gains additional piercing per bomb burst, up to a whopping 1,250% additional piercing. So he hits hard.
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah.
1,250%.
Wow. Is the cap once he has 5 bomb burst. It also has additional effects. If he has 3 bomb bursts, it's going to reduce the duration of all positive effects on the enemies before the attack. It gains drain depending on how much bomb burst he has. Also lowers speed bar depending on how much bomb burst he has. For the ultimate, after he uses it, it does clear all the bomb burst on himself.
Okay.
I gotta say, that looks pretty fucking cool. Holy shit, that looks cool. I like it. That looks really cool.
And so you need to have his basic pretty much refill his bomb burst so he can explode again on his ultimate.
Okay. That's that is quite the powerful ability there. And is most of that tied to Crucible offense, or is there a good chunk of that you can use anywhere?
So a lot of the effects for the bomb burst are tied to Crucible offense. The reducing duration is tied to Crucible offense. The drain is also Crucible offense. And so that's where he excels.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about the special then. What is the special going to be doing?
Yeah, so the special is kind of the ability where if you want to keep him alive, it does damage to the primary target and adjacent enemies. It also does a 10% max health steal, so he gains a little bit of health through that. It barriers himself, and it also heals himself. The heal actually weakens the more bomb burst you have, so you're trying to incentivize to use your bomb burst when they get up. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting the potential of the special's heal if you're only trying to keep him up alive. So the special is mainly his sustain if he's not ready to explode on his ultimate, or the basic, which is still very powerful, not just only because it gives a bomb burst, but because in Cosmic Crucible offense, it does things like reduce the duration of safeguard and taunt immunity.
Oh, wow. So a powerhouse in Crucible, but kind of similar to Quasar, will probably have some niche uses in other places. That's really cool. But before we go on, don't forget to like the video and hit that subscribe button. We want to hear from you about what you think about Blastaar. Where will Blastaar slot into your squads, and what ability has got you the most excited? Make sure to leave a comment down below. Well, similar to how we've done Quasar and how we're going about...
Listen, Quasar is not a one-trick pony. I'm not expecting Blastaar to be a one-trick pony. Right? I mean, obviously Quasar, some would make the argument that Quasar is too powerful in war. In fact, I saw several people talking about that here in chat yesterday, about how Quasar is more powerful in war than Professor X or whatever. I mean, somebody was making a strong, good case for that today. I don't think that, Quasar is getting a ton of use inside of even Arena and Crucible, and my expectation is that will be this similar here with Blastaar. I don't think they're going to be just Crucible. Probably bonkers in Crucible, but useful elsewhere. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. We'll see.
About this whole chapter structure, the legendary characters are completely free through engagement. So are we going to be doing anything different with Blastaar at all, or is it going to be kind of very similar playbook to Quasar?
Yeah, it's a really similar playbook. The main important thing that players should take away is playing Marvel Strike Force every day. You'll be getting his shards through the command center, through either daily, weekly, monthly, similar to Quasar. It all boils down to play Strike Force every day to get those shards and unlock the character and then fully power him up.
Okay, and I think like you've already heard, we are looking at what we're going to be doing with this Red Stars. So hopefully we'll have some more news on that very soon.
Yeah, so they said, RJ said in so many different words that they really weren't, like they were, how did he word it? I don't know how he worded it exactly. He said that the release method of the 7 yellows on Quasar met their expectations, but the 7 red did not, was the feeling of the way that I think that he worded it. And so I think he was suggesting, and somebody in chat could correct my interpretation of what he said, or if they have a different interpretation, was that there was going to be some changes in the release method for the reds going forward, or they were going to make some modification or some tweaks. So I don't think that it's going to, the way that we got 7 reds on Quasar is not going to be exactly the same for Blastaar.
Soon as we start chapter 2. Let's get...
And I mean, we went over that word for word, the way that RG stated it in that Strike Time video, because initially I thought that they were going to make it more exclusive and monetize it. And then several people said, no, I didn't understand that correctly. And we went through it, and it was like almost like he felt like not enough people and that it wasn't easy enough to get the 7 reds. After rehearing it, I came to that conclusion as well, which was surprising to me. So we'll have to see. Quasar's reds were entirely dependent on how big your vigilante was, locking some players out. Sure. I think of the Harbinger characters. I mean, Fantastic Four is a part of that too, I suppose, but you know, we'll see. But I feel out of the Harbinger characters, Vigilante was the most satisfying team. Like, I feel like that team, yeah, it was for me easily. I felt like, I feel like Accursed and Thunderbolts on some level were disappointing. So I don't feel like there's any resources wasted in, I personally didn't feel like there was any wasted resources when it came to the Vigilante team. The team felt good. Absolutely felt good. It's satisfying. You mean the only team that worked the way they should? Sure, fine.
Give everyone watching a big advantage when it comes to Blastaar. So let me ask you this, Matt. How do you use Blastaar, or what's a secret tip that you would give the players watching at home?
I kind of always
Blastaar? I barely know her.
spoil it. Like, Kahori and Blastaar are almost best friends. The amount of basic attacks that she puts out, very, very.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Powerful. Old Man Logan's also very strong because it allows Blastaar to gain a lot of assists. And so I think you're going to Blastaar are almost best friends. The amount
Watching at home.
I kind of always spoil it. Like, Kahori and Blastaar are almost best friends. The amount of basic attacks that she puts out, very, very powerful. Old Man Logan's also very strong because it allows Blastaar to gain a lot of assists. And so I think you're going to see a lot of people mixing and matching, trying to figure out which ones he slots well on night.
Use Blastaar, or what's a secret?
So normally I don't get too excited about this because if anybody that's communicated with me in text form knows that I'm not very effective at communicating in text or spelling. I mean, I'm not the one to call this out, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not the right person to go, ha, you spelled it wrong. Yeah, I do this shit all the time. An app updated is available. What's the best way to do the update because it doesn't show my iPhone? Actually, I know the answer to that question. Is you go into the App Store, type the name, and then when you type Marvel Strike Force, and it won't say update sometimes. You click on the icon, and then it takes you into a separate screen, and sometimes there it'll say update. But here's the thing. Those things go out in waves, so it may not be available for you exactly right now, and it may be available for other people.
Tip that you would give the players watching at home.
I kind of always spoil it. Like, Kahori and Blastaar are almost best friends. The amount of basic attacks that she puts out, very, very powerful. Old Man Logan's also very strong because it allows Blastaar to gain a lot of assists. And so I think you're going to see a lot of people mixing and matching, trying to figure out which ones he slots well on Annihilators, because there's so many times where it's not a great time to use Gladiator Special. Sometimes and so now the basic is much more powerful because it pulls in Blastaar. And so I think you're going to see a lot of unique teams where
Same. Yeah, I don't spell check at all. Like, I just type out shit. And actually, I've really gotten used to that. Like, I don't know if you guys, I don't interact with AI as much as some people, but I do. Like, don't spell check on that, man. Just, it knows what you're trying to say. It's just like, there's no reason to like spell check anything, specifically when I'm communicating with like AI. It just happens. It knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Most people do too.
people are incentivized to use the basic more, holding their special and their ultimate for better opportunities to use it in the match.
Okay, very cool. Well, this sure was a a Blastaar talking with you today, Matt. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Is it an assist attack though? Is my question. I think it may not be an assist attack. That's the thing. It may not be an assist attack though. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it is. He wouldn't. He is very aware that Corey cannot be assisted, because I had a very detailed conversation with him about that issue specifically when the character came out. It's a passive attack, not an assist. There you go. Yeah, that's going to sidestep a lot of the echo counters and things like that too, if it's not an assist.
And if you made it this far into the video and you survived that pun, we have a promo code for you. Make sure to go to the player gifts section of MarvelStrikeForce.com and type in the code BLASTARLEGEND. Make sure you do it in all caps and don't tell anyone about this code. It's only for those who watched the whole video.
No
That's
chance
all
of
for
me
now,
doing
Commanders.
that.
Have
Nope.
a great day, and we'll see you on the next
Pathfinder. Have a
episode
great
of
day.
Strike Spot.
Hope this message finds you well. Oh my God, it's so loud. Scopal next. Oh, Marvel Strike Force. Explosions. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Call it assist? Well, I don't think he. Let's put it here. Let's see what Big Spartan's interpretation of his villain. Cosmic Bio, Blastaar Legendary, Speed 127. So this information came from the Dorky Dad stream. Pathfinder typed into chat that Blastaar had a speed 127. So this was not found in the video. Cosmic Crucible, offense, plug and play. Special and ultimate have no cooldowns. The basic gives him a new status fact called Bomb Burst. 30% turn meter, and on CC offense reduces duration of... let's see if I can cut this a little better for presentation-wise. What's up, babe? Thank you. The blog will be out in an hour and 4 minutes then, if that's what he said. All right, let's do it like that. All right, what do we got here? We need music. Special, I have no cooldown. Basic gives a new status fact. Bomb Burst. Mr. Bombtastic. Turn meter and CC offered reduces duration of safeguard. Get fucked. Taunt and immunity. Get fucked. On non-summoned ally basic. Okay. Clearly, this is confusing. And I think we could chew up semantics. But he explicitly said that this worked with Kahori's basic, even though Kahori's basic, and I don't think he misspoke. Kahori's basic does say, right here, this attack cannot be assisted, blocked, or counterattacked. I believe this is going to be... I hope that the in-game actual messaging is clearer than this, because he was very explicit about this working with Kahori. I think it's a ping, yeah. I don't think it's in the... I don't think it's coded the same way. So, Kahori, like Old Man Logan... all the other characters of the game do not work with Kahori. So this is different somehow. Yeah, I hope that the so I agree with you, Blitz. I agree with you, Blitz. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I feel like in the video, using the word assist creates some conflicts with our understanding of the way the kits are worded, specifically with Kahori. There you go. Pathfinder says it right there. Thank you. That's exactly what we needed to hear. That's exactly what we wanted. Thank you so much, Pathfinder. Okay. That is what we got. Thank you so much. Got it. Got it. I see it. That is exactly what we're looking for. Thank you for the clarification. It's a part of Blastaar's passive where he will do the basic. It's more like he does a basic when someone else does their basic. Perfect. 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 All right. No, I think Odin that is also considered a passive attack. Odin's retaliatory swipe is also a passive attack. I feel like that's also the same way that Black Knight, when he expends a charge, that is a passive attack. It's not considered a basic attack. Does that make sense? Or did I explain that correctly? We haven't seen the kit yet. There was just basically a general conversation. This is not the kit. This is a summary put together by a community member based on the information that is in the strike spot. And they were having a conversational conversation without reading the kit in its legalistic print form. So that may have just been an oversight. But he was in this video, Matt Sheets was explicit about saying that it worked well with Kahori. He went out of his way to say that. All right, let's keep going. Basic gives a new status effect: bomb burst, 30% turn meter, and CC offense, reduced duration, and safeguard, taunt, and immunity. On non-summoned ally basic, Blastaar will... Let's substitute something else. Blastaar will do a basic. That makes it clear, right? On non-summoned ally basic, Blastaar will do a... Oh, let's even be more explicit. Probably the way it is. On non-summoned ally basic, Blastaar will do a passive attack that is the same as his basic attack. That's probably the correct way of stating it, if I was to guess. But it will probably say we'll perform basic on primary target, but then technically it'll be a part of his passive, and it'll be a passive attack. Just guessing. Well, Blitz, I think us talking about it may help in that process, frankly. I'm gonna say that us talking about it here may mean that they'll reword it to be more clear. They've had, I mean, imagine the confusion that we have here with the kits in English, let alone, then it has to be translated in other languages. From what I've seen and heard is that by the time the kits are translated in other languages and the way the interpretation is in Russian, let's say, I'm just making up a language, it's all fucked from what I've heard. Because I've said that, I mean, how long have we been saying the joke is there's three things on the way that there's the way that the developers intended it to work. There's the way that the kit reads, and then there's the way that it actually works. And oftentimes those are three very different things. Yes, there also Na is also correct in stating there's a reason why the community managers come here, not or there's, from what I can see in chat, I've seen at least three developers in chat right now today. Maybe, probably be a lot of lurking, but they're here for community feedback. I promise you that your concern with this assist verbiage, the powers to be will know and have thought about that. Anyways, like, I'm pretty sure this if it is an issue or if it was going to be an issue, it should be addressed hopefully by the time of release. And gives more bomb burst and 30% turn meter. ISO also generate bomb burst, so that means Striker's going to be great. Bomb burst increases his speed stat on CC offense. Is that turn meter or speed stat? Interesting. Alt attacks enemies for high piercing, additional piercing per bomb burst up to 1250 with 5 bomb burst. With 3 bomb bursts, reduces the duration of all positive effects before the attack. And gains drain, reduces speed bar based on how many bomb bursts he has, then clears all bomb burst, and the damage on that looked bonkers. And it was actually really cool animation. Much of the bomb burst effects are also tied to CC offense. Special does primary adjacent damage with 10%. Hell Steel buries himself and heals based on how many bomb bursts has. Actually, I think that I read, okay, hold on. I don't think this is accurate. I don't know if you're here, Spartan. I understood it that it actually goes down with the number of bomb bursts he had. Like, it works opposite of this. Am I wrong or right? My interpretation of the video is that the special gets worse and the amount of healing and barrier goes down with the number of bomb bursts he has. Am I correct in remembering it that way? Okay. Pathfinder says yes. Like, it's almost the opposite of this. And I mean, loosely. Okay, so we got several people. Okay, so it's not the way this is so this is my alliance mate, and he's here in chat all the time. And so this is just one interpretation. My interpretation was that it's nearly the opposite of this. Yeah. All right, yeah, so maybe this is correct, but the amount of heal goes down with the number of bomb bursts. And they were doing it in a way so that that you're not wanting to hold on to it. Like, it was to incentivize popping off the bomb burst. Like, when, rather than just doing the special indefinitely, right? Just health, just very probably. Yes. Similar release to Quasar, works extremely well with Kahori and Old Man Logan. Promo code Blastaar. Okay. JSMV, it could be. We could go back and rewatch it for sure. All right, we're still waiting on this. All right, new update. Let's see if this is on Android. Is this the LD Player Store? That is so sketch, by the way. LD Player, so sketch. So sketchy. Okay, now why did that? Yep, I got an update. Okay. Corrected character upgrade performance issue. Fixed MF Rocks expand inconsistent speed alterations. Mega Rig Phoenix 4 passive is now currently locked. Correctly locked when not upgraded. Fixed. Secondary targets can only dodge or block Apocalypse basic ability. Holy shit, this has been an issue for years. I forgot that this was a thing. I remember reporting this like 18 months ago. I even said it in a video, I think. Danger and visual performance improvements. All right. Oh yeah, there was some data mines. Disable the War Star DDSCC experience spotlight orb. Yeah. Thank you, D Easy. Okay, so this is from. So this seems a little bit more detailed. Address ability descriptions, character upgrading, performance issue. Was inconsistently altering the speed of allies during battle. Mega Red Phoenix Force passive ability. Death Arcanate was reducing the max health of mythic enemies when his passive was still locked, not upgraded. When using Kahori's ultimate ability, Ancient Power, while stealth, the chunk of rock she throws looked like it needed some seriously polishing. We polished the rock. Secondary target's able to dodge or block a cop's basic ability, the Alpha, even though this attack is unavoidable and can't be blocked. Yeah, this was a thing for a while. Improve the player profile, squad, background appearance, character, ISO 8 information pops up with some time eye on the screen after long processing and I icon during the battle. All right. Enemy damage was not updating in real time in the enemy list in the raid node panel after entering the existing squad select screen. So this was, we thought this was the max health. Is this the max health issue that we've been experiencing for a while? Chaotic storm raid difficulties were not persisting between mission nodes after force closing the app. A raid's name and difficulty were at the top of the raid lane. Text overlap the raid resource icon text various visual performance issues. Like rock? Yeah, I know, polishing the rock. Rock? What did I say? I don't even know. We polished the rock. Okay. All right, we got some other data mines right here. Mr. Fantastic MCU is the next strike pass. You can also use Thunderbolts in the F4 towers. Thunderbolts going to Bumps. Bumps is basic, ultimate store, Mega Orbs, Premium Orbs, and Supply Store. And their diamonds to the Instel store. Okay. Super Skull Heist is rewarding 1 diamond for Ares and Captain Britain. Silver Sable to... So, okay, we'll circle back to that. Silver Sable to War Store, Daredevil to Crucible Store, Hitmonkey to Spotlight Orb, Havoc to Raid Store, Mephisto, Ares, and Captain Bremen Diamonds to the Elite Store. Okay. Ares and Captain Britain will have some in this Super Scroll Heist. So maybe if this hits first, maybe wait until you get that. I'm not sure. Mephisto and Captain Britain will require Dark Diamond credits, and Ares will require Silver Diamond credits. Well, someone asked me yesterday why I didn't upgrade Rogue or something. That's why. Okay. Thank you, Nah. Let me go get that. I found it. Actually, I'm gonna I'm gonna do it this way because I think it looks better. All right, there is the pricing on Mephisto and Captain Britain. Holy moly. I'm glad that I saved mine then, right? $15,000. Oh my God, 15,000. Wow, that's going to be expensive. Let's just say that's 10. So 27,000 dark diamonds. Wow. It should, we will see. I'm already at 2. Well, we're going to be needing those then. Cool. How many do we get per season? A good question. I thought it was like 1,500-ish. Let's see. Let's go look. I'm not sure. Good question. So that means Why they wait so long? Well, I kind of understand the answer, but I don't think it's great. Is that they incentivize people in some sort of leaderboard or an auction to give them some exclusivity on getting the diamonds or some sort of RNG, and then they delay it, giving it away through a free method. And I wouldn't even necessarily call this free, but I think you understand what I mean by putting it in quotes, to give exclusivity to the people that did participate in the auction several months ago. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be well received. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it's a lot. Also, but somebody said yesterday, well, why don't you upgrade your rogue? Is like, this is why. All right, Dente Reek just subscribed. Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, for me, if I mean, I don't upgrade characters that won't positively impact my gameplay on a weekly basis. So like, I'm not spending resources for the sake of spending resources, what I'm saying. Like, when I mean, everybody plays differently, I suppose, but that's just how I look at it. Like, this stuff won't help me, so I don't do it. Now, I am tempted to do this right here. Fuck, should I just do it? I want to be explicitly clear. I do not have any real information on this. Zero. I have no inside Envoy information on this. Nothing other than speculation video from Boylon and Pathfinder putting it in his Discord banner. But you're friends with Mr. Scopely? Maybe, but I don't have information on this, is what I'm saying. I know, that's the thing, is I only have 2,400. No, I don't have information on this. No. Don't do it, guys. I'm saying don't do it. I'm not recommending anybody do that. Oh no, I'm not gonna. You got to keep in mind that reworks sometimes get the shaft and may not be vital to the team's operation. I probably will not have a problem taking her up to 19. The reason, but see, the thing about taking her to 19 is that. Oof, I should do that. The thing about taking her to 19 is I can do that at a time where this store here rotates and I may not see her for a while. So that's my also secondary thinking. But I have an abundance of this currency, so do what you got to do. Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I'm doing. So what Nas said is also a thing. I have 663,000, and so the decision I was doing in my brain while we were talking here on stream is, holy shit, I got to do this first before I forget. Do I refresh this with the 50 power cores, or do I just start spending it on diamonds? I feel like I can do diamonds last minute if I have to, because we've got 19 days left. Visible woman shards. Okay, I agree with this strategy. Good call. Thank you. Actually, that's an excellent suggestion. Let's do it. Thank you. Chat, you're the best. All right here, Skull Heist. All right, 1 diamond Aries, 1 diamond Captain Britain. I think I just need to be mindful of it. There's 19 days, and I just need to chip away at it as it comes around. How's it going, Big Spartan? So, Big Spartan, I don't know if you were here when we were having the conversation about. I'll make a video about it. Hang out and then. Yeah, rather than restating it, but there were some things that we had some clarification on when it comes to. Let's go through this. I need to go through my. The server reset will be happening in 30 minutes or so. So I'm going to go through and clean up my command center. Make sure I didn't skip anything. Nope, we did all that. Okay. Yeah, okay, you were here then. All right. And then also the heal, I guess, goes down with the number of charges. They're not called charges, though. They're something separate. I feel like they use the word assist and charge just because, even though it's mechanically slightly different, but that the community would understand what that means, because it's similar to that, but a little bit different. Yeah, bomb burst. But the best way to, I guess, to describe it is it's kind of like a charge that's not called a charge, right? Yeah, it goes down though. It makes sense, but the video said that the heal actually gets worse the more bomb bursts you have. It's probably, I mean, it is based off of the bomb burst, but it was inverse in some way rather than complementary. Is that, I guess, that's the clarification. Does not jump out the helicarrier window? All right, I'll try not to. All right, let's do some of this stuff before it resets. Yeah, Quasar to 20. I did that one already. That felt good. Quasar feels like if once you have Professor X, I feel like Quasar to 20 is a good decision. I also feel like the 3 new Fantastic Four characters to 20 is probably going to be a thing also. It feels like it is anyways. Yeah, the only complaint I've heard about Quasar is he's too good in war. I've actually heard that complaint. Ooh, Quasar over Mephisto to gear tier 20. Actually, we're going to ask chat that question. That's a great question. All right, put your opinion there. I feel like that's a good question for the chat. Well, it looks like people are like, there's other considerations here too. Kahori, I think null, but this specific question, it was Quasar Mephisto. Is Quasar going to be useful in Arena with F4? Unknown. I can tell you this, Odin probably not so much. It's going to be Professor X in the 4 or in the 3, and I don't know what the 5th is going to be. In my testing, I played up against Shadow King as the 5th. I don't know if it's going to be Quasar. I do not know. Fisto, Odin, Kahori for Professor X. I made a video about that. I can give you the link. Yeah, I specifically talked about some of that in the video because I feel like that might be too complicated a question for here in chat, for discussion here with chat, but I will give you the link to the video. Here is the link about that kind of answers that question. Oh, but Odin is the no-brainer. You have to do Odin, but there's a lot more context in the video. No, I do not, but I did testing of Franklin without the other 2 Fantastic Four, and he was quite amazing with Professor X without Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic MCU. Franklin kind of carried the team. Interested in specific non-X teams? Yeah, unfortunately the test server wasn't set up for that, really. Well, it's not entirely true. I guess I could spend some time, but I have to coordinate that with somebody else, which at the time where I was doing my testing, nobody was, I didn't reach out to anybody. But I would have to like get paired up with like Dorky or something and try to figure it out. And it's, I wish we could stream that stuff, but you know, that's a problem also sometimes. Okay. Did I get currency today? I don't know. We were talking about playing Fantastic Four without Professor X and what that looks like. Oh, hey. No, I stopped playing the new account. I don't even remember why. Oh, I know what it was. That's a dumb reason. Yes, Steven knows. Yeah, I was trying to manage time between Marvel Mystic Mayhem and DC Worlds Collide, which I also gave up on. So I gave up on like 3 games in a period of 2 weeks, unfortunately. I kind of feel like that's true, Zodi, in some weird way. I like that. I want to talk about something, and I feel like comfortable talking about it right now. And I'm gonna word it very specifically. I quite often struggle with issues, where I just don't feel good, and sometimes it's pretty a little very heavy and overwhelming, and I refuse to say one of the words or identify as depressed or depression because I don't want that to embody me or be a part of me. And I choose to view it like a cloud waiting, and it's a lightning storm and it's raining, and over time the cloud will blow away, but I am not the cloud. I'm not permanently in the cloud. That being said, in this photo here, I was one in the darkest moments of my life, and I was absolutely miserable, and I had no ability to talk about it with anyone. But this was absolutely one of the most horrible weeks of my life in some weird way. And I ended up leaving this trip early. I just dipped out. I was like, fuck you guys, I'm out of here. And I said different things, but part of it too was there were 2 issues with it. Is one, I was taking an insane amount of hormones for IVF, which really messed with me. Also, I had gone off of testosterone, which I had been on for a better part of a decade, and my hormone levels were crashed, and they were trying to re-stimulate my testosterone levels with like truly horrible drugs. And I was taking massive amounts of injections and things like that. Also, after this experience, I did 2 things that also helped, and I'm sharing this because I hope it, because I feel like somebody's got to talk about it. I did 2 things. I went to a therapist that was worked in conjunction with a psychiatrist. In the past, when I've gone to psychiatrists, they didn't know me and they couldn't help me. And because they spend like 30 minutes with you and they kick you out the door, and then they misdiagnose you. It's happened to me so many different times. So what I had happen is I was working with a very, very competent therapist, and the therapist worked closely, and I signed agreements between the two. And the therapist was able to communicate with the psychiatrist. So when I met with the psychiatrist, who only got like 30 minutes to give to me, she was equipped with the important information to make the right recommendations, and I was able to get on a medication that actually worked. And I've been on dozens and dozens of medications over the last 15 years, and with mixed results. Some of them had truly awful side effects, and I was able to finally get the right one only because the two worked together. And secondly, I started going back to a group. Boy, how do I want to word this? What's the best way to word this? I started going back to a self-help group that I had not been active in for about 2 years, and that group of people collectively have helped me tremendously with my emotional balance. Anyways, so if you're struggling, like, it's like I feel like it was important for me to acknowledge that it wasn't good, also acknowledge that it was like a cloud and that it would blow away, and to actually reach out and get professional help, and then develop some sort of support group. That's it. And I'm talking about this when I'm in a good mood, because I feel like when I'm in a bad mood and it's not going well for me, yeah, I don't talk about it. I don't talk to anybody about it. Anyways, that's it. Yeah, things are going well. Yeah. If you freeze your sperm for 20 years and as the kid is born, is he 20 years old? No. Actually, we have some embryos that are in cryo right now, and they're good for 30 years. Saw Darth Micro the photo? Yeah, where's Darth Micro? Yeah, Darth Micro's right here. Yeah, Darth Micro. He stayed at my house. That was actually that was a part of that rough time too. And then here's a picture with Archangel and Cerebro on Fremont. Also, Dr. Venkman, are you here? I don't know if Dr. Venkman's in chat. It's crazy that you're talking about, oh dude, I feel like it's hard to share about it on a public level because it is, I just kind of rattle it out in a very matter-of-fact, non-emotional way. I want to assure you it was miserable. It was the most awful feeling I've ever experienced in my life. And it was darker than dark, and I'm not going to talk about it publicly because it was not good. It is just not good. Yeah, and I kept it to myself. I really did. I feel like as men, well, I'll speak for myself. I feel like I've been raised to just kind of like not share your feelings, don't be a victim, which I still kind of believe. You know, I don't think being a victim helps anyone, but like, don't ask for help. You know, quit being a pussy, get through this shit, man up, get your shit together. I get it. I still often feel that way. Yeah, walk it off. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's just the way I was raised. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me still believes that. Like, that doesn't really go away. It's just that at the end of the day, that wasn't helping me. You know what I mean? And I do think that some of that mentality works on some things sometimes. Like, you know, but sometimes it just doesn't. And then what, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, you know, like, oh man, you know, I feel a lot better now. And I because I took a different approach to it, is what I'm trying to say. There's certainly a fine line of man up and when to ask for help. Yes, yes, yes. I think you wait for someone to help you. That's all you ever expect. Sometimes you not just seek it out because it's too big of things to tackle on. Yes, I am kind of a man up guy in general, but like Ed, it did not working for that. It was not working. Holy moly. I'm a licensed recovery support specialist, and it's a change from addiction solving. Mental health with men been a huge change for my career. Wait, let me read that. I'm a licensed recovery support specialist, and its change from addiction solving to mental health with men has been huge change for my career. Yeah. Well, as you know, I struggle with, I've been 12 years sober, and it's there is, with people with long-term recovery, I feel that there's like an equal amount of risk of relapse and suicide. I feel like the people that I know that have been in long-term recovery, I think there's almost been equal percentage of suicides and relapses that resulted in death in the people that I've been associated with in the last 15 years. It's kind of scary, actually. Oh yeah, I mean, I 1000%, yeah. Drugs and alcohol work until they don't, and I actually think they benefit some people that don't have serious problems like I do with that kind of stuff. Like probably for a large percentage of the population base, certain medications like Xanax are extremely helpful. In moderation when used as prescribed. Yeah, 1000%. Why not? Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why I was motivated to talk about that today, but I think it was the photo. I was like, oh man, yeah, real talk. I was miserable in this photo right here. Like it was truly awful. Being there with people was uncomfortable, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I said, I'm getting the fuck out of here, and I left. I went home. Yeah, I went home. I was like, yeah, and I couldn't really talk about it. I think we had an inkling with hormone thing, you leaving her. Oh man, it was just not good. No clown, you can only be happy and funny. Now make me a balloon animal. All right. All right. All right, enough of that. Oh, now that I got Invisible Woman of Another Stars. I mean, I think also as yesterday we were talking about Chester and Soundgarden. And it's like, I wonder if that could have gone differently for them if they had, well, it's hard to say. Everybody's different, right? But it makes you wonder. That's all. Because I used to think that, I remember when like the lead singer of NXS went down that road, and I was like, why would somebody do that? Like it didn't make any sense to me. And now I was like, oh, I see how this can happen. It's like shit. It's awful. Chris Cornell, yep. It's easier under the older you get. Yeah, I remember being young and I couldn't wrap my head around it. It was like, what year was the NXS lead singer? It's like, why would that guy do that? I mean, I remember thinking it's like, the guy's famous and wealthy and, that guy fucks. And, it's like, why would he do that? And it's just like, oh, or Kurt Cobain. It's like, well, now I get it, I guess. Yeah. I always thought it was because they sold their soul, because it didn't make any sense. It's a very dark conversation for me to share my experience. I'm not quite ready to get into the details of it because it's very dark. Very, very, very dark. Yeah, very dark. And the problem with it also is it feels real in the moment, even if it's not true. It's like one's brain, you can lie to yourself so easily. It's not hard. And it feels real in that moment or moments. And it becomes exhausting if it extends for, like, I feel like there's a certain amount of it that where it's fine, but like at some point it just becomes exhausting and you get fatigue. And I don't know if that's like a week or two, but it's not a short amount of time where I just like I feel like it becomes exhausting. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, and I also found that it's not a logical problem. Like, I think anybody that my experience has been is that when I've thought about it in the past and other people, I was like, well, you could just do this and you have so much and your life is good. It doesn't present itself that way. If it was that simple, it wouldn't be a thing. I promise you, if it was that simple, it wouldn't be a thing. It's way different than that for some reason or another. And it's hard to present that to somebody that hasn't been through it. I think you can empathize for sure, but like the logical is like, oh, your family loves you and you have so much to live for and blah, blah, blah. It just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. Yeah. I'm glad that I just glad that I actually tried one more thing. I kept trying like one more thing. It's like, I don't know how to fix this. Let me try one more thing. All right, I'm going to make one more call. I'm going to go down one more path. I'm going to go do this. I feel like I just kept doing that and oh, good. Cooperative, send me an email first. I don't mind chit chatting, but yeah. Or tag me on Discord and I'll add you as a friend. I'm not trying to save the world, but you know, like, you know, whatever. Anyways, I talk about this so much. Community manager whip, yeah. So yeah, 18, like you did 16. I'm here today. I look back, and that's why I did. Yeah. That's exactly right. It's not a logical problem. Like, I feel like it's just not. It's just not a logical problem. Cooperative, yeah. Tag me on Discord. Ping me on Discord and I'll add you as a friend. It's not a logical problem. Like, so it's just, it defies, like, intellect. Because nothing about it is intellectual whatsoever. And I remember, like, well, I don't know. Whatever. I'm doing something I wanted to do. Do you think that nobody's streaming him? Or do you think it's too new and not reaching expectations? I don't know, man. I didn't give the game enough time to really know the answer to that question, but the game wasn't doing it for me. Yeah, I do want to do community manager whip. Oh, I have one now. But what is the total dark diamond cost for what is the total dark, let's do if we can get rid of you. What is the total dark diamond cost? And how many months that'll take in Crucible? It's a lot, yeah. No, it's a lot more than that. It's close to 27,000. Yeah, it's 16,000 just for the third diamond. I'm talking about the total cost. But here, I'll put it on the screen. I'll do the math here in a minute. Yeah, it's 16,000 just for the third diamond. This is probably 27,000 between the three of them. $27, thank you. And how many months is that? How many seasons? Okay, that fair enough. Greetings, Commanders! My name is Community Manager Whip. That's right. Wail harder, you peasants. Now, I just got to say, a lot of you have preemptively gone into the data mines and discovered that there will be a dark diamond cost for Mephisto in the amount of 27,000 27,000 dark diamonds. And I guess say you are a lot of whiny bitches. I'm going to teach you a life lesson. All of you right now are going to get a life lesson because you need to know what's up. Just the facts of life because you're being a whiny little bitch. I've decided to increase the cost to fully take Mephisto from 0 diamonds to 3 diamonds to 48,000 dark diamonds. You know why? Because listen, you need to hear this. This is the message. It always could be worse. Tell the same thing to my wife and all the employees here at Scopely. No matter how bad it is, it always could be worse. Get off my dick. Oh, it's published? Okay.
Sexy with a pocket is the real thing. Cargo shorts so sexy, so fly. Rock 'em in the day, wear 'em at night. Pockets so deep, they catch your eye. Cargo shorts, yeah, they're my vibe. Cargo shorts so sexy, so fly. Rock 'em in the day, wear 'em at night. Pockets so deep, they catch your eye. Cargo shorts, yeah, they're my vibe. Yeah, you see these pockets? That's right. Got room for your charger, your wallet, your snacks. Sexy to be prepared. Cargo shorts so sexy.
Yeah, I actually am short a couple, and I'm gonna actually have to go out on the hunt for them. Like this will give me something to like consider, like because I'm at 2 right now and 3, and I think I'm sitting on 15,000. It's like I gotta find them. Weather's great. I know. We were just in Monterey, and the weather was amazing. We're going to. We bought tickets yesterday for Miami. See how that goes. Marvel Mystic Bam. I unfortunately I did. The reality is I didn't spend enough time to develop a quality opinion on it. I know that in the limited time I played it, which was 3 days, I couldn't get into it. But that is a premature. That's not a good opinion. There might be some other people here in chat that played it longer than I did that may have a better opinion than I do. Yeah, the Franklin Records, they said that they were going to, there was a post about it last week that said that they were going to make some adjustments based off of this and that, and that it shouldn't delay the process very long. Well, the reality is it's been, what, we're coming up on 2 days here. I'd love to go back to Oceanside. Oceanside's amazing. I've spent a lot of time in Oceanside in San Diego. I love it there. Yeah, we're trying to do as much traveling as possible now while Cat feels pretty good right now. Like, yeah, and that's not entirely true. She's clearly physically uncomfortable. But we're trying to do as much as possible now. $500 core power compensating well better than nothing. Yeah. Okay. So that is from right here. So this was a message from yesterday. It says later today we're spending a package of power cores. 12 players. This is a result of the issues that occurred last Monday, which was kind of a shit show in my opinion. Thank you for your continued passion for Marvel Strike Force. So you got 500 cores, is that right? Thank you, Lori. All right, let's see if this is a little more clear. We'll make the video off of that. Well, if the humidity is awful, we'll just never go there again. I'll just stay in the hotel room and make videos all day and say, fuck Miami. I've never been there. I'm taking it from what I've heard from chat. It's going to be miserable. Babe, they're saying Miami's going to be miserable. We already bought tickets. I had Sky Miles, so. Oh, no, we're going just for the hurricane. Yeah, we did know that, Steven. Yep. They did say that. All right, let's read it. Let's see what's different than the video. Nihilist invasion has begun. Nexus Third is on the verge of collapse. Strike is calling Negative Zone royalty to form an explosion partnership with Strike. Blastaar. All right. Franklin Legends payout. Okay, I'm sure that's not going to be fun. We're probably going to delay this just to see how people feel about that. All right. Busted the second of 3 essential legends need to unlock Annihilus and the Fiat of Age of Annihilus. So Steven said, has that been disclosed before? I was under the assumption that the 3 legendaries that are part of the Age of Annihilus, which are essentially awarded through gameplay and through the command center, were going to be required. that was my understanding from the get-go. I don't know if it was in a post or anything though. Love it when you call me daddy. Thank you, Zodi. All right, 1100. Let me write that number down. All right. Throughout chapter 2, you collect Blastaar character shards from the command center. It's time for your official Blastaar meet and greet. Okay. Blastaar. Blastaar was a ruthless monarch of the negative zone and once was a feared tyrant who ruled through the brute force and explosive fury until he was overthrown and imprisoned by his own people. He escaped captivity and brought his warpath outside of the negative zone to Earth, determined to conquer and destroy anything in his way. Blastaar possesses immense durability, superhuman strength, and the ability to powerful concussive energy blast from his hands. He's a living weapon of chaos. Relentless rage fueled and nearly impossible to stop. I don't understand. Give me more context as to why am I getting Franklin diamonds? Jesus fucking Christ. So I'm getting a refund. 3 diamond is not available in that orb or in the store. All right, I'll let you guys sort that out. Okay. King of Crucible offense. His new reign is set to begin in Cosmic Crucible. Blastaar will be atop the throne, arriving with a kit that makes him an offensive terror. And also, I think that because of the next sentence, he's probably a AI defense nightmare in that it won't work correctly. Explosive barrier is a time bound of damage and effect manipulation. All of his abilities have 0 ability cost, which we had Gambit, right? With the basic and the special. Including his special and ultimate, allowing you to choose how to pummel your opposition each turn. Blastaar basic fills his speed bar, clear safeguard when it's awakened, and feeds his bomb burst status effect, while his special controls the battlefield, and his ultimate unleashes a devastating attack. Blastaar is also fortified with heals, barrier, and drain, making him difficult to eliminate. Bomb burst. Blastaar's prize weapon is his bomb burst status effect that both protects Blastaar and pulverize his enemies. Bomb blast is a neutral status effect similar to charge, but it is not charged, because there's a lot of counters to charge, where this is saying that it's similar to charge, but it's not going to be countered with anti-charge mechanics like gore. Blastaar gains through his basic or passive abilities. See, they're stating that right here. We had a lot of discussion with that earlier based on the video. As long as he doesn't possess silence. Did they add this to Odin's kit? Yeah, they did, right? Yeah. Yeah, they did. All right, well, that's worth talking about. All right. Blaster speed bar can't be reduced via awakened passive. It's 20% per bomb burst via awakened passive. All right, so can't gain slow or speed up. Gains additional focus for himself and all allies. Excessive in is manual blitz, not sim. Okay. All right, but the what they Xflev, what I think they meant by that, because there was more context and I think it was a little bit overly simplified. I believe that because clearly that has not happened, right? The kits are way more complicated. I believe what it was, and I could be wrong, but I remember that when they said that, it was in the context of adding damage or health or giving damage and health and things like that to other characters through their passive, and that they were going to streamline that and get rid of that on, and they have on some reworks. They've removed that because the kits have not been simplified. And so they said that the stats were going to be built into the characters themselves, not the kits. And that's what they were going to do Ares forward, and that was going to simplify the kits. I remember thinking that they were going to make the kits simpler. That simply just did not happen. I think it's impossible to do that in the trajectory of a game, but whatever. All right. Basic blast. Basic ability feels blast or bomb blast. Not always bomb blast grant him a bomb blast, but anytime a non-summon ally uses their basic, Blastaar will also gain a bomb blast. Cool. Yeah, they made it 2% simpler by removing stat buffs from passives. Yeah. It's almost, I wish it wasn't stated at all. All right. Ultimate detonation. Mr. Bombastic. That's what I was thinking earlier. Stack a bombastic burst on Blastaar and then turn the enemy side of battles into a crater. Gains piercing through bomb burst. Piercing is a fairly interesting mechanic that I understand a little bit better now that I've been playing Raid Shadow Legends, because it's ignore defense and it's a percentage stat. And actually in Raid Shadow Legends, and I can't speak to here in Marvel Strike Force, but in Raid Shadow Legends, you're trying to do various things to get maximum damage out of characters, and the ignore armor mechanic, which is piercing here in Marvel Strike Force, is probably more important than crit damage from what I've seen. In Crucible offense with 3+, he reduces the duration of all enemy positive effects by 3. On Crucible offense with 4+ bomb burst, he gains drain for the attack. There you go. With 5 bomb bursts, he gains crit chance for the attack. Awesome. In Crucible offense with 5 bomb bursts, he reduces speed bar for all enemies. Get wrecked. Okay, so there's the speed. Piercing is ignore 50% armor. Thank you. Actually, that's super useful, actually. Well, here's the full kit. Oh boy. All right. Here's the full kit. Wow, we were speculating so much earlier today. Let's just go to the kit. Passive. We'll start with the passive. The living bomb burst. On spawn, he gains defense up and safeguard for 2 turns. When a non-summon ally uses their basic attack. Yeah, see, it doesn't use the word assist here at all. Yeah, this is, you know, all that talk that we had an hour or two ago is much clearer in the kit, right? When a non-summon ally uses their basic attack primary target for 175% damage and 20% piercing. Clear all negative effects on self. If this character does not have silence, game +1 bomb burst up to maximum of 5. On Crucible, if the primary target does not have safeguard, clear all positive effects from primary target. Crucible office fills spy bar by 30% for self. On Crucible office again, gains 500% focus. So this is not an assist. And they explicitly said that this worked amazing with Kahori. Yes, it is explicitly clear. Yeah, it's very, very... Yeah, you were here for that conversation, Pathfinder. Yeah, it is very clear how this works. So this is going to be amazing with Kahori. Or if you pair him up with some of the other characters that do this also, or have assists. This is not an assist. Oh boy. Oh, hi, Panfire, yeah. Yeah, Shadow King is kind of like this too, right? I think Shadow King is similar. Yeah, it kind of feels like Shadow King, I agree. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So this is not an assist also. But this one is basically tied to ultimates, where Blastaar is tied to basics, right? Well, it's tied to ultimates outside of, you know, there's more stipulations, but in Battle World, this will also trigger with any astral use of their special ability. Yeah. Can he also assist on top of that? Well, how does does that happen with Shadow King? I guess the best way to describe it is it's very similar to Shadow King, right? No, it is not an assist. But the question was, can he also assist and then do this, creating a situation for a multi attack? And my question is, can you do that currently right now with Shadow King in some way? I don't know. Ewok time, I like that. All right, I need to turn this on. This always like really slows the browser down though. Hopefully it doesn't like ruin. I wish this worked better. If primary target has safeguard, reduce the duration of safeguard by 2, immunity by 2, and taunt by 1. Well, this is monstrous right here. Holy moly. This makes the passive awakened very, very important. Speed bar cannot be reduced. This character cannot gain slow or speed up of offense. Gain 20% speed per bomb burst on this character. Holy shit. So this is counterable by new Emma, right? That very bottom line is that is like a Man-Thing mechanic. Yeah. All right. Energy cost, attack enemies for piercing. This attack gains inner benefits based on the number of bomb bursts on this character. Gain piercing, up to maxing a 1250 piercing. On Crucible offense, if this character has 3 more bomb bursts before the attack, reduce the duration of all positive effects. Oh my god. In Crucible offense, so that's like in-game Thanos, Sable right there. Reduce the duration of all positive effects by enemies by 3. If this character has more bomb burst, gain 50%. Has 5 or more, gain crit chance for the attack. Clear all bomb bursts on the character, and who's killed by this attack cannot be ride. Alright, so this definitely has some I win button for Crucible, right? Get wrecked defense. Hey, you think you want to be able to get no? Wow, so this is going to make Crucible just like whoever's the most efficient, and we're going to be like, oh my god, you better hit pause now to make sure you get the maximum amount of points against Omega Red, against Phoenix, right? You took 1 extra turn, you lose the whole Crucible. Holy shit. You want to win this Crucible? You better wait around for 5 minutes to make sure you get that 1 last turn attack against Phoenix. All right, the special. Attack primary and adjacent targets for piercing, steal 10% max half and redistribute itself, ignores heal block. By ability block to primary target, gains safeguard for 2 turns, heal for 40% of this character's max health. This amount is reduced. Oh, cat's in the backyard. This amount is reduced by 5% per bomb burst on this character down to a minimum of 15% healing. In Crucible offense, apply trauma. If this character has 3 more bomb bursts, apply ability block to all adjacent targets. Bury yourself and all allies for 30% of this character's max health. Apply immunity for 2 turns to self and all allies. All right. So there's no awakened. There's no awakened on the special. So there's 3 awakened. Yeah, there you go. So here's, I know you guys are all worried about the Crucible meta. I'm going to explain it to you. Only put characters that are going to survive the most amount of turns. So we're going to assess the value of the defensive team, not on the merits of the team, on whether it can win or not, but how many turns could it possibly survive to give you the most amount of points. For example, maybe you want to throw Ghost on the team just because she might dodge, and that'll give you enough points to win the entire match. That's what Crucible is going to become. All right. Can you win on turn 1 of your attacks, or is it going to take you 6 attacks? Oh my God, you took 1 extra turn than your opponent. How dare you? I'm not worried. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. We will see. I'm not sure. Basic attack permanent damage. Characters not have silence. Clear all negative effects on self. Gain +1 bomb burst up to maximum of 5. See, this is where it is. The next character they release will have some sort of silence mechanic and works well on defense. All at the starting of the battle on defense in Crucible, everybody gains silence. Why? Because we need to sell you. We need to create a problem sell solution. That's what I would do if I was in charge. The solution to this problem is silence, my guys. How did you know the next character, Kip? Opponents cannot gain bomb burst. You're funny, but they have a sorry the time for the go. I'm joking. Yeah, he is joking. He's joking. I did not take that as literal, by the way. On Crucible offense, the primary target does not have safeguard. Clear all positive effects on the primary target. Fill speed bar for self. Attack gains 500% focus. Attack can't. You dodge. Oh my God. Reduce safeguard with a basic in Crucible. Okay. Fill speed bar. Wait, okay, so I'm confused. All right, so here's my question, Pathfinder. The passive, while this character has bomb burst in Crucible, blah, 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 right? Then while this character has bomb burst, it removes the Crucible mention here. All right, I see now. Oh, I see. All right, so it removes the Crucible mention there. Got it. So this is bonkers outside of Crucible. This is not just a Crucible awakened. Well, we were wondering how they were going to make money off the weight these free legendaries. Now you know. Now you know. What's up, my love? I like that one. It smells good. I need to eat something. You want to talk to him for a second? Okay. I'm going to go grab a quick bite, and then we're going to make a video about this. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. The passive is the only crucial awakened ability. That seems right.
I just look huge.
You look like you're pregnant.
Yeah.
I think it's attractive.
Sup, motherfuckers? How we doing? Oh, God. Sitting is a whole thing now. What the hell? What are we doing? What are we doing? Y'all can't get quiet the second I come in. Come on, I got something to talk about. What's up, Chef Gamer? Yes, there are pregnancy chair cushions, and I use them all the time. I have to. We have meetings we go to in the morning, and I always grab the seat cushion now. You like it a lot? Hi, Samurai Ghost. Oh, dude, he's been really into the ham. He loved that ham. Hi, Dart Dart. Boomer, show you the Coldplay couple's Halloween costume. No, that's funny. Galactus wants your baby. I know. I'm kind of afraid to watch the new Fantastic Four because I'm afraid something's gonna happen to the baby, and I'm not ready for that. Like, I'm gonna freak out. I freak out at like any kid or baby things. Like, I will hurt someone. It's not good. I haven't seen the new Superman movie yet. I am salty. It's not Scott from Twister's fault. It's just I'm salty at James Gunn for telling, like, they're all like, oh yeah, Henry Cavill's gonna finally get his other Superman movie that he deserved. And he quit The Witcher for it. And then, psych. We're not doing Henry Cavill anymore. I'm just mad that Henry Cavill kept getting snubbed for his second solo movie. Like, Batman v Superman just completely ruined his solo movie, and then we were supposed to do this, and then now he's not. So I'm just a salty old bitch. Your husband gave a whole TED talk about how he felt some years ago during a Scopely trip. Oh. Oh God. Thanks, T-Dats. Thanks for the clip where I look fat. Who, Henry Cavill? Henry Cavill was a really, really good Superman. That's, like, I still, Christopher Reeve is still my favorite, probably. But Henry Cavill was really good. And it broke my heart. Baby's gonna get kidnapped. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That Galactus is gonna, like, steal a baby. And I will freak the fuck out about that. I don't like the idea of somebody stealing a baby. I don't want somebody to steal my baby. Like, holy shit, it took so much work to get him. I don't know if that's the case, Sody Short. It doesn't seem like it. Marvel needs to strike back with the MCU. Henry Cavill. Yeah, wasn't he in the Deadpool movie? That was really fun. I forgot about that. Last year. The Deadpool and Wolverine. Wasn't he in that? I need to see him in Marvel Strike Force now. Yeah, Wolverine variant. That was so fucking funny. It was so funny. The Fairy Tale of Rumpelstiltskin? Yes, I do. I don't want to... No. I thought Cavill was going to be another character in the DCU. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, that would be better because then he's not wasted. But I was more pissed that, like, I loved him in The Witcher, and then he quit The Witcher to be Superman, and I was like, all right, it's fine. Like, cool. I want to... I want him, like, I want to see him. I really can't fucking focus with the stupid dorky dad song. I really can't. I'm sorry. We need to go to something else. That. Okay. I was like, all right, it's fine if we lose him because he's gonna go do Superman, which he deserves the second movie. And then it was like, nope. I don't trust James Gunn as far as I can throw him. The one you made, Sassy. I can't focus. Not with that kind of song. Momoa is getting recast as a different character. Love you, Sassy. Was that the reason? It was a differences with. I didn't know it was the differences between him and people on The Witcher. I thought it was, you know, he was gonna go do Superman. I thought it was a schedule conflict thing. That's how it was presented to me. Jason Momoa is gonna be Lobo. Who is Lobo? Lobo, from Supergirl. Yeah, I get that it's Jason Momoa, but... Oh! Oh, I can see that casting. Lobo's interesting. I like his cigar. Oh, yeah. From what I'm looking at, he'll make a great Lobo. I'm not familiar with... Like, the only DC that I know is Batman. And even that's really limited. Superman was a factor, just not the only factor. Oh, okay. Well, still. The new Superman looked really good, and everyone I talked to said Lex Luthor and Crypto are 100% the reasons to watch it. And I love the guy who plays Lex Luthor. So I will watch it. I'm just gonna watch it when it comes out on a streaming site. That's it. Creative differences. That was the word I was looking for. Okay. Cavill quit Witcher because the writers were going way off story. Oh. Mr. Terrific is in it? Is that a spoiler? No kidding. Oh, he's great. Oh, no, that's not a spoiler. We saw that in the trailer. Yeah. Smallville's Lex Luthor was pretty good, too. I mean, I heard some people were saying that, I can't remember who plays Lex Luthor. It's Nicholas Hoult. That's it. People were saying that Nicholas Hoult was not hot enough to be a billionaire, like, playboy kind of character. And I was like, he's way hotter, like a tech billionaire. And I was like, do you see all the tech billionaires? He's way hotter than all of them. He's way hotter than Mark Zuckerberg. I'd much rather date Nicholas Hoult. Huh? I can't hear you.
Jeff Bezos has a nice hairdo.
Jeff Bezos has a nice hairdo. I was talking about hotness, not hairdo. Not mutually exclusive. It's seriously, Nicholas Holt is so cute. I thought he was cute in Mad Max, and he was bald and covered in tumors. I still thought he was hot then. Oh, he's 100% better than Jesse. Oh, Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor is horrible. I feel like yeah, and then Elon Musk is also setting the bar here. Yeah, not super attractive to me. Boomer and I were talking about that because he has like 18,000 children. And I'm like, who keeps wanting to reproduce with him? He's not that cute. Boomer, Dart. Come here, kitty. Rich can only get you so far. I need to be attracted to more than just Rich. Dart. Dart. Yeah, because mom's cool. They want to hang out with me. Okay, look at this freak. He cold calls people who post stuff he likes on Twitter and tries to reproduce with them. I wouldn't be surprised. We're talking about Elon Musk having like 20,000 children. And I was like, who wants to reproduce with him? And they said they're saying he cold calls people on Twitter. People who like his tweets. And he's like, hey, you want to do IVF with me, baby? It's so gross. Oh my god, big Spartan. He has a bag of milk physique. I've never heard that before. That's so funny. You have a physique like a bag of milk. Yeah, but you make it... This is hot. This is my baby daddy. You're okay? All right. Bye. Come on, Dart.
Well, they're both following you. They're totally. Yeah. The cats just follow her around. They don't care about me. Sympathy weight. Yeah. I think no, never mind. Who cares? Nobody cares about any of that. Did I miss anything? What's going on with the payout? With everybody happy with their payout? Anybody livid with their payout, I suppose? They haven't called on Elon Musk rap. Reveal was simping for Average Turd. Maybe we didn't get it yet. Well, that right there. All right. Yeah, I just got it. Your Franklin Diamonds. All right. All right. Well, Hockey, yeah. Are we saving up Bio G20? If you, I have Professor X, and I'm dumping my G20 Bio into Fantastic Four. The highest priority is going to be Franklin. Everybody's in a different place in the game than me, though, so that's just, there's some qualifiers on that statement. Blastaar is Bio? Okay. Thank you. That's actually helpful. Looks like Starnak. Probably a month makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it's gonna overlap with Intel or if it's gonna be before that. All right, I'm gonna record the video. Oh, before I do that, let's do this. All right, we're going to go over Blastaar's kit, which is complicated. He's most certainly going to be a war offense god, and none of his abilities have cooldowns. In addition to that, we got 2 brand new promo codes. Right here, we got Blastaar Legend with 2 A's, and that's good for 20,000 intel credits and 1 million gold. And then there's one, I thought this was funny, it's just oops. Oops. That's for 100 power cores. Now, at any given time in my Twitch chat or on my Discord server, exclamation codes and Nightbot will respond with all of the current codes at the time of making this video. These were the current codes. I also want to point out that this is not fantastic. This is fanstastic. There's an extra S in there. Maybe that's a typo. And then this one right here, a lot of people said did not work. This was the same one it was on their Facebook. And so if you already collected it through a link or through their Facebook, it's the same one. And that was represented in a code that can be used on the website. And then these ones also vary if you've used them already. But this is the current list of working codes. Now, let's get into the Blastaar kit. And it is not simple. And this is going to be for free. Well, free is not the right word. Through engagement over the 3 minutes in the next 3-month chapter of Annihilus. And then Blastaar is going to be the second of 3 essential legendaries needed to unlock Annihilus. Now, I'm guessing that, well, I know for sure that the Blastaar unlock method is going to be similar to that of Quasar, but I'm also expecting the Red Star method is going to be different. I think they were not entirely happy with the way that Red Stars were distributed with Quasar, and they are going to be changing that. Here are some of the key things about the kit to know, and it seems pretty exciting, and his animations look great. New Reign is set to begin in Cosmic Crucible, and Blastaar will be atop the throne, arriving with a kit that makes him an offensive terror, and there's a key reason why, which we'll talk about here in a moment. The explosive Blastaar is a time bomb of damage and effect manipulation. All of his abilities have 0 ability cost. That's probably going to make playing him on auto a problem, and that's probably why he will not be as good or as effective as he is on offense. He also has a bunch of awakened abilities that's going to make him work and play much different than without the awakened abilities, and some of them affect all game modes. The passive specifically. So we have one other character in the game that has no cost on special, and that would be Gambit. And so 0 cost, not only on the special and the ultimate, allowing you to choose how to pummel the opposition each turn. Blastaar basic fills his speed bar, clears safeguard, and that's on the awakened ability, fills his bomb burst status effect, while his special controls the battlefield and his ultimate unleashes a devastating attack. Blastaar is also fortified with heals, barrier, drain, making him difficult to eliminate. Now, let's talk about the bomb burst, light diffuse. It's part of his kit. It's similar to that of charge, but it is not charged. So it doesn't get countered with a character like Gore, but it kind of works in a similar way that charge does. Blastaar's prize weapon is this bomb blast status effect that both protects Blastaar and pulverizes enemies. Bomb Blast is a neutral status effect similar to Charge that Blastaar gains through his basic or passive abilities, as long as he doesn't possess Silence. And I believe Silence is going to be the next cure-all counter. Franklin will have the Silence, the first character with it. They've also added in Silence. They kind of just slipped this in, like it essentially was like a small nerf to Odin, where they said this character cannot gain any new negative effects except Silence. Well, that's the thing. Silence is going to be kind of the next meta, maybe in the same way that like Trauma and Safeguard, and then dropping down negative effects, you know, the duration was the counter to Trauma and Safeguard, and now we're going on to something else called Silence. I mean, it's the progression of the game, hence also the kits are a lot more complicated, and the passive awakened ability seems very powerful. Blastaar's speed bar can't be reduced. That's only through the awakened passive, and we have no idea how that's going to be released, whether it's going to be through money or through event or placement, or if it's going to be an auction. No idea. Gains 20% speed per bomb burst via awakened passive. Now, Later, when we go into the kit, my understanding is that this is tied to Crucible only, so keep that in mind. And this is the mechanic that can be shut down the way that the new Emma shuts down like Man-Thing's passive. So this is not turn meter, this is actual speed. Can't gain slow or speed up, gains additional focus for himself and all allies. Basic blast. Basic abilities feed Blastaar's bomb blast. Not only does Blastaar's basic grant him bomb blast, but anytime a non-summon ally uses their basic, Blastaar will also gain a bomb blast. And then there's some complicated mechanics in his passive that kind of work like an assist, but they explicitly are not an assist. They are similar to that of Kingpin, and they outright stated in the video that he's going to be very good with Kahori. We'll talk about more of that here in a minute. Stack Bong Burst on Blastaar and then turn away the enemy side of the battle into a crater. Gains piercing per bomb burst, and piercing, my understanding is piercing is 50% ignore of defense, which in some games that's very powerful, like percent armor ignore is kind of the way it is. It's piercing. On Crucible offense with +3, he reduces the duration of all enemy positive effects by 3. This is on the ultimate, which has no cooldown. On Crucible offense with 4+ bomb burst, he gains drain for the attack. With 5+ bomb burst, he gains crit chance for the attack. On Crucible offense with 5+ bomb burst, he reduces speed bar of all enemies. It's bonkers. He seems like an auto win button. And I think Quasar, to a certain extent, is that in war as well. He's kind of like a I win button. And I'm largely right with the right team comp. And I think Blastaar is going to be that way in Crucible. Traits, villain, cosmic, bio, Blastaar, legendary. I've got bio highlighted there because we've got Fantastic Four right now. I think once you have unlocked Professor X, there's some characters worth considering to continue your journey on the Gear Tier 20. And a lot of people are taking up Fantastic Four MCU. I'm not talking about Human Torch or Thing. I'm talking about Franklin being of the highest importance, in my opinion. Then we've got Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman. Now, keep that in mind that Blastaar is bio also. I'm not really sure when this is going to start. I'm guessing this is a month away, maybe more than a month away, but I'm not 100% sure when the first people will be unlocking Blastaar. Speed of 127. Now, I want to skip to the passive and work backwards, because it's kind of hard to get understanding of what his kit does. And this is a little more complicated than I would like, but let's get through it. On spawn, gain defense up for 2 turns and safeguard for 2 turns. That's kind of a scary combo. No immunity though, but if you think about Quasar, right? That's a thing right there. When a non-summon ally uses their basic attack. So this is not an assist. This is worded very specific. When a non-summon ally uses their basic attack. And that is kind of similar to that of Kingpin, which has it on their ultimate ability. When this character or any astral ally has possessed at the end of that character's turns, and when any non-summoned ally uses their ultimate ability. So this is going to feel familiar in that it is similar to that of Kingpin. The way it works explicitly is not an assist. And what they're saying in the Strike Time video is this makes him synergize very, 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 very well with Kahori. And that Kahori plus Blastaar is going to be crazy. They said it outright. Attack primary target for damage plus piercing. Clear all negative effects on self. If this character does not have silence, gain 1 bomb burst up to a maximum of 5. And then on Crucible offense, which is what this character is all about, if the target does not have safeguard, clear all positive effects on the primary target. On Crucible offense, fill speed bar by 30% for self. That is so good. It's just in Crucible. On Crucible offense, this attack gains extra focus. While this character has bomb burst, so once it has that bomb burst, not charged, but similar to charged mechanic, character cannot gain slow or speed up. In Crucible, gain 100% focus for self and all allies. And this will make more sense when we look at the Awakened right here in just a moment. Now, the Awakened does some other interesting things. right here. If the primary target has safeguard, reduce the duration of safeguard by 2, immunity by 2, and taunt by 1. And we're going to see a similar reading when we get to the basic attack and the ISO attack on him. Then also, this is outside of Crucible with the awakened ability, which is going to make the awakened ability on Blastaar the most important. There's the awakened ability on his passive, his ultimate, and his basic, not on his special. This character's speed bar cannot be reduced. That's crazy good. This character cannot gain slower speed up, and this is in all game modes. Then in Crucible, can gain 100% focus for self and all allies, and then we've read this already before in the highlights at the beginning of this. Crucible offense gain 20% speed per bomb burst on this character. That can go up to 5, so you can have 100% speed, and that can be shut down by that new Emma mechanic that we talked about. Odin has something like that too, where he goes twice as fast with a base speed of 127 plus 100% speed. That is very, very, very fast. So let's look at the ultimate. When it has a lot of the bomb bursts, it's going to be kind of like an I win button from the way it reads. No cost. Attack all enemies for piercing. This attack gains additional benefits based on the number of bomb bursts on the character. Gains 250 piercing per bomb burst on the character, up to a maximum of 1250 piercing. In the strike time video, the animation of this was amazing, of course, and it looked like it just deleted the team. The damage numbers were through the roof. Crucible offense, if this character has 3 or more bomb bursts before the attack, reduce the duration of all positive effects on all enemies by 3. So that is like Sable. That is like in-game Thanos. And maybe with a character faster than him or Kahori, he could lead with this. If he can get up to 3 bomb bursts, you know, if Kahori takes 2 turns right away and then maybe Songbird takes another turn, whatever. I don't know. This might be a turn 1 situation. If this character has 5 or more bomb bursts, gain 50% chance for this attack, clear all bomb bursts on this character so it resets, and then no revives. And then the awakened ability, which we have no idea how we're going to get, or if it's going to be a tournament, if it's going to be for money, if it's going to be a leaderboard auction, we don't know. On Crucible offense, the character has 4 more, gain drain so he can get his health back, if any is gone at that point. Crucible offense, the character has 5 or more bomb bursts, reduce the speed bar of all enemies by 30%. Bonkers, 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 bonkers. All right, special. So this one here is kind of interesting because the healing gets worse as the more of the bomb burst. That's right. This ability gets worse. It gets less effective if there's more bomb burst. And they said that they wanted that to happen to incentivize you to not hoard the bombs and then just to use the ultimate. So no cooldown. Attack primary adjacent targets for piercing. Steal 10% max health and redistribute to self. Ignores heal block. Apply ability block to primary target. So that kind of feels like Gambit right there. Gain safeguard for 2 turn. He also spawns with safeguard. Heal the character 40% max health. This amount is reduced by 5% per bomb burst on this character down to a minimum of 15% healing. So it starts off at 40, can drop all the way down to 15. The more bombs you have on him, the less healing. Okay. In Crucible, apply trauma to the primary target. This character has 3 or more bomb bursts. Apply ability block to all 3, or the adjacent targets. So I guess it could be more than 3. Bury yourself and all allies for 30% of the character's max health. Apply immunity for 2 turns to self and all allies. Now, let's read the basic attack. And this is a little bit confusing because not only is there a basic attack and an ISO attack, which are 2 separate things, and looks like for sure you're going to want to do Striker on him from the way I see it. Then there's also Awakened ability. So it's 4 rows of text, essentially. Not simpler, very complicated. Attack this primary target for damage. This character does not have silence. Clear all negative effects on self. Gain bomb bursts up to maximum 5. So he's also going to be getting those bomb bursts when, let's say, Kahori does her basics right out of the gate. He's also going to be getting bomb bursts that way when other characters do basics. In Crucible offense, the primary target does not have safeguard. Clear all positive effects on primary target. And this is going to be very different with the Awakened ability, as we're going to read here in a moment. Fill speed bar by 5% for self. Gains extra focus and cannot be dodged. So with the Awakened ability, it's going to change the way it reacts if you're going up against, let's say, Gladiator, right? Primary target has safeguard. Reduce the duration of safeguard by 2, immunity by 2, and taunt by 1. Then also fill the speed bar. So those are the things that were added there in yellow. Now the ISO attack assist and seems very strong. Probably going to consider doing Striker on him based on the way it reads right now. Have not tested the character. Attack primary target for damage plus piercing. If this character does not have silence, clear all negative effects on self, gain 1 bomb burst up to a 5. So, if he's going into an ISO attack, he's hitting twice. Let's say he does an ultimate and then the ISO pops off. He's going to be getting some of that bomb burst. That's great. Because you want to ramp it up to 5 as quickly as you can to do the ultimate and do a lot of damage and silly things, right? On Crucible offense, if the primary target does not have safeguard, clear all positive effects on primary target, fill speed bar for self by 5%, gains focus, cannot be dodged. So he can be getting speed bar not only on the basic, but also the second tap, if you will, with the Striker mechanic, which I think is going to be good to run on this character. Though Awakened ability will have the safeguard, reducing the duration, which seems crazy on a basic attack, and then he'll get speed bar for self. So we're going to start earning this character through the command center by daily activities. I'm going to use air quotes here, by free. Well, what I mean by that is not spending money, and he'll be acquired over a period of 3 months in the same way that Quasar was. So I think we have a good understanding of the way that Lalandra was released and Quasar released, and Blastaar is going to be similar, but I'm going to say that the 7 Reds are going to be a little bit different. They weren't happy with the way the 7 Reds were distributed based in the last video. Now, this is of high controversy. Well, not all of it. I don't know if this is in the data mines or if it's already been published in game, but there is some cost on what the Mephisto diamonds are going to cost. Mr. Fantastic to the next Strike Pass. The Thunderbolts can be used in the Fantastic Four Towers. Thunderbolts are going to bumps, which is basic orbs, the Ultimate Store, Mega Orbs, Premium Orbs, and Supply Stop for Power Cores. And their diamonds to the Intel Store. So they're kind of skipping going directly to the Elite Store. They go to the Intel Store in the same way that right now Vigilante's in the Intel Store. This is kind of nice. This is live right now. I've not done it, but Super Scroll Heist is rewarding 1 diamond for Ares and Captain Britain. Silver Sable to the War Store, Devil to Crucible Store, Hitmonkey to Spotlight and Havoc to the Raid, and then Mephisto, Ares, and Captain Britain diamonds are going to the Elite Store. Mephisto and Captain Britain will require Dark Diamond credits, which is we have a limited amount, and Ares requires Silver Diamond credits. And then this post here spells it all out. Captain Britain 1 diamond, 3 diamond, 1,800, 3,600, and 3 diamond 9,000. Now I'm not as interested in the Captain Britain diamonds as I am on Mephisto, which is a total of 27,000 Dark Diamond credits to get the 3 diamond. 3,300, 6,700, 1,600. I believe the Super Scroll, and I wrote the number down, the Super Scroll cost 11,200. And I'm going to switch to the other side of the screen here. But we are awarded on a seasonal basis, which this season of Crucible is ending in 26 days. You can see that it's, that's over let's say 26 days from now, I'll be getting about that many. Also worth noting that this is not the only place that we get these, but I know there's a lot of grumblings about the cost of that right there. All right, let me know what you think about Blastaar. Looks like it's going to be CC I Win God. Some people are worried about there being no viable defenses, and where Blastaar will be able to run over offense in CC, effectively reducing Crucible to an efficiency war. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Bye for now. How bad did I butcher that? Shadow Kingpin, not Kingpin. Oh my God, I got it wrong. Medium bad. I'll edit it. I'll edit it. I'll just edit it. You want me to end the stream or do you want me to edit it with you? Fucked it at the beginning? Okay. I'll just edit it out. I don't know if I want to. I don't want. It was a 19-minute video. I won't re-show it. But thank you for telling me. Might as well redo the whole thing. If it was like a 12-minute video, I would. But it was 19 minutes. Yeah, my apologies. This will not be fun. I'll try to make my editing as interesting as possible. All right, so we're loading up the file. Videos longer than 20 minutes. We get drops anyhow. I understand. And I can do some fun things here with make the video a little bit better. So this is kind of weird, and I don't think a lot of you. When I record the videos, I record on 5 audio tracks. So the first audio track is the blended audio that you guys hear right now on the stream. So this is like my broadcast audio track. And so I'm not going to use that in the YouTube video, so I'm just going to delete it. Then the second audio track I record is just my microphone. So it's exclusively my microphone audio. Then right here, I record the gameplay audio, like the, if there's like the punching sounds, the pew, pew, pew. This video didn't have any of that. So I'm going to delete that one there. And then lastly, the final track would be, if I was doing a Discord interview, the other person's audio would come in a separate track altogether, so I could mix their audio differently, or if they're glitching out, or if I want to make it sound more evenly flowed. We did not do that in this video. And then right here is my background music, which I stopped using. And if babe, do we have a longer music track? I mean, sometimes I might just replace that altogether. I might delete it and just put no music in this video. Actually, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to delete the music. We don't need music in this video. Get the fuck out of here, music. All right, then I'm going to link these back together. $12 minutes. I will cut this down. It was a 20-minute video. I bet you I can cut a minute out of this. All right, we're going to go over Blastaar's kit, which is complicated. He's most certainly going to be a war offense god, and none of his... All right, we'll just get rid of that. We'll just get rid of all that. It is complicated. He's most certainly going to be... All right, we're going to get rid of that war offense god all the way. We get rid of that because he's a crucible god. That doesn't make sense. He's most certainly going to be a war offense god, and none of his abilities have cooldowns. It is complicated and no. All right, I'm going to do an effect right here to kind of merge the sound together. So is that cross gain, I think? Let's see here. See, it's under cross. Yeah, constant gain. And so I'm going to, this will make the transition of the cut in the audio to sound more fluid. And none of his abilities have cooldowns. In addition to that, we got 2 brand. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut some of this out, and I'm going to have the code zoomed in. We got 2 brand new. You'll see, let's see here. So you can't see the transitions. I'll show you what I mean. So you won't see the transition here because what I'm going to do is like you see me like jump right here, and none of his, and then I jump right here also. In addition to that, we got 2 brand new. What I'll do is I'll do this is I will cheat a little bit and I will zoom in on the promo code so that you're not seeing me jerk around because of the edit. Which is, and then we'll make it a cross dissolve. So we're masking the edit of me taking out the War God part. Is complicated, and none of his abilities have cooldowns. In addition to that, we got 2 brand new promo codes right here. We got Blastaar Legend with 2 A's, and that's good for 20,000. All right, so I'm going to speed this up by a microsecond here. So I'm going to cut right here at the set audio gap, and then I've got a macro on my stream deck where it will speed up the gap by 50%, and that will, and then you won't be able to see that there's an edit, but the pause will be faster with 2 A's, and that's good for 20,000 intel credits and 1 million gold. And then there's one I thought this funny. It's just oops, oops. That's for 100 power cores. Now, at any given time in my Twitch chat, speed this up a little bit right here. Time in my Twitch chat or on my Discord server, exclamation codes and Nightbot. All right, so now we're just shortening the video a little bit here by a couple seconds. And Nightbot will respond with all of the current codes at the time of making this video. These were the current codes. I also want to point out that this is were the current codes. I'm going to get rid of this. Fanstastic. There's an extra S in there. Maybe that's a type. Oh, no, that's actually kind of important. Current codes. I also want to point out that this is not fantastic. This is fanstastic. There's an extra S in there. Maybe that's a typo. And then this one right here, a lot of people said did not work. This was the same one it was on their Facebook. And so if you already collected it through a link or through their Facebook, it's the same one. And that was represented in a code that can be through their Facebook. It's the same one. All right, I'm gonna just cut that off and speed this up a little bit. And that was represented in a code that can be used on the website. And then these ones also vary if you've used them. I'm just gonna take this whole part out. This is the current list of working codes. Now, so that will delete 20 seconds right there. And what I'm going to do is, let's see here. Nation codes, and Nightbot will respond with all of the. And I'm going to zoom in on this here. Okay, and we'll put a crossfade. Cross dissolve there. Codes, and Nightbot will respond with all of the current codes at the time of making this video. These were the current codes. I also want to point out that this is not fantastic. This is fans. All right, we'll speed that up a little bit. Fantastic. This is fanstastic. There's an extra S in there. Maybe that's a typo. And then this one right here, a lot of people said did not work. This was did not work. This was the same one it was on their Facebook. And so if you already collected it through a link or through their Facebook, it's the same one. Let's get into the same one. Let's get into the Blastaar kit, and it is not simple. And this is going to be for free. Okay. All right. Let's see. Button. And this is going to be for free. Need to learn this stuff. Thanks for sharing. Well, it's not that exciting to stream, frankly, but I know some people are here for drops. I have a little bit of time to edit right now. Now then we'll go back to playing Marvel Strike Force. I don't know how much stuff I got to do the scroll event, I think, and then some other stuff for free. Well, free is not the right word. Through engagement over the 3 minutes and the next for free. Well, free is not the right word. 3 minutes in the next 3-month chapter of Annihilus. And then Blastaar is going to be the second of 3 essential of Annihilus in the next 3-month. Free is not the right word. Through for free. Well, free is not the right word. Through engagement over the 3 minutes. Through engagement over the 3 minutes in the next. See if this makes sense. Through engagement in the next 3 constant gain. Engagement in the next 3-month chapter of Annihilus. And then Blastaar is. So what I'll do here to mask the edit, I will zoom in on myself to make it look like I'm saying something important. I will just do it like this, put myself there. Then I'll put a transition there, cross dissolve, and then so it looks like when I hit play. Through engagement in the next 3-month chapter of Annihilus. And then Blastaar is going to be the second of 3 essential legendaries needed to unlock Annihilus. Now, I'm guessing that unlock I want to just shorten this up a little bit. We'll go boom, boom. I'm curious to see how many minutes I can knock off this video. It was 20 minutes out of the gate. I bet you I can get it down to at least 18. Unlock Annihilus. Now, I'm guessing that, well, I know. Do you enjoy the editing part? I hate it. I despise it. I have an editor, and then that edited a video for me yesterday, and then Kat edited another video for me. I absolutely hate editing. It's some people are good at it and some people enjoy it. The problem I have with editing is that there's diminishing returns in editing. Like, you can edit and nobody cares. And frankly, if you edit video properly, you won't even know that it's been edited. And then there's also this strange value proposition of when to stop editing. Like, how much more editing would it take to make the video good? So I can make 20 minutes, I can edit for 30 minutes and the video will be 10% better. But if I edit for 2 hours, it's 11% better. So there's like this really steep drop off of like how much better is the video, and knowing when to stop editing can be very frustrating. I hate it. Percentage watch time is more important, frankly. And people will click away if the video is not snappy. Now, I'm guessing that, well, I know for sure that the Blastaar, well, I know for sure that the Well, I know for sure that the Blastaar unlock method is going to be similar to that of Quake. That's fine. That of Quasar, but I'm also expecting the Red Star method. Red Star method is going to be different. I think they were not entirely happy with the way that Red Some people like it. Cat's pretty good at it. She likes it. And also the guy that I use who's in Serbia is really good at it. He's just so good at it and so fast. Method is going to be different. I think they were not entirely happy with the way that Red Stars were distributed. And when I edit, I'm mostly editing to conserve time and to mask that it's edited. Happy with the way that Red Stars were distributed. So I do a lot of things that make it look like it wasn't edited, if that makes any sense. Because, like I feel like you can edit things wrong and it's like, holy shit, they edited the shit out of this. Like when you watch television, it doesn't look edited, but it is. So I think like good editing is almost invisible. I'll play it. With Quasar, and they are going to be changing that. Here are some of the key things about the kit to know, and it seems pretty exciting, and his animations look great. New Rain is, and this I've edited for 10 years now. And I've never really, I'm proficient. See, the thing about editing is you kind of have to know how to do it to like get other people. Like if you're going to pay for someone to edit your videos, you kind of have to know how to do it yourself. Rain is set to begin in Cosmic Crucible, and Blastaar will be a top. I've heard, I mean, it's amazing that, like if you look at the very large YouTube channels, like they eventually get editors, but if you talk to them, they all edited for a long time themselves, so they know what they're looking for. Will be atop the throne, arriving with a kit that makes him an offensive terror. And and there's a key reason why, which we'll talk about here in a moment. Okay, we're just cutting out some boring parts a little bit. Why, which we'll talk about here in a moment. The explosive. Okay, let's delete that. This was like word whiskers. About here in a moment. Explosive black. In a moment. Explosive black. Talk about here in a moment. And there's a key reason why, which we'll talk about here in a moment. Explosive black. All right, let's just do this. Reason why, which we'll talk about here in a moment, there's a key reason why, which we'll talk about here in a moment. Explosive Blaster is a time. Is it worth the G20 to 3? Yes. Yep. Do I plan each segment or just freeform? I know people make fun of me, destroyer of words, but generally I can just and just run my mouth pretty fast, and then that I can lose my train of thought very easily. But over time, and I think everything is a skill set, like a muscle that can be developed over time, and even if one does not have natural ability, they can develop it. I feel like that public speaking and things like that was not easy for me as a small child. My parents and kind of set me up in this fast track, be a minister, public speaking, and they started me off young at 6, 7, so I had to do a lot of public speaking. And then when I was an adult, I went to Toastmasters. It helped a lot. Blaster is a time bomb of damage and effect. Damage and effect manipulation. All of it. But no, I do not plan out segments. I just run my mouth. I pretty much do bullet points, and anytime I haven't been successful to do scripted videos. I bought a teleprompter, but I don't use it yet for anything. All of his abilities have 0 ability cost. That's probably going to make playing him on auto a problem, and that's probably why he will not be as good or as effective as he is on offense. He also has a bunch of seriously, it's endearing. Oh, the word. Yeah, I destroy words. On offense, he also has a bunch of awakened abilities that's going to make him work and play much different. See, I said that wrong. I said much differently, but whatever. I don't think my grammar is wrong there. But I right when I said it, I was like, fuck, it's differently. But whatever. Nobody cares. Only I care. Maybe the 5 English majors will like be annoyed with that. Work to make him work and play much different than without the awakened abilities, and some of them affect all game modes, the passive specifically. Santana will be my favorite. Yeah, I know Satana. That's the other thing about streaming and being on YouTube. You really, I think, I've seen people who take themselves seriously really struggle, and some of them affect all game. If you take yourself too seriously, yeah, that's not you're gonna have a bad time. Affect all game modes, the passive specifically. Specifically. So we have one other character in the game that has no cost on special, and that would be Gambit. And so I never liked the sound of my own voice, but you know, when I'm streaming, I can hear it back in my head. Also, I believe that is a muscle, a skill set that can be acquired over time. That I don't think it was natural for me. I had to learn it. Gambit, and so 0 cost, not only in the special and the ultimate, allowing you to choose how to pummel the opposition each turn. Blaster basic fills his speed bar, clears safeguard, and that's on the awakened ability, fills his bomb burst status effect while his... All right, I'm gonna... So we're 3 minutes into the video, so I'm gonna be less picky on my editing now. I'm gonna kind of relax on it a little bit. Status effect. How's it going, Swampy? Special control. I agree with that. I used to be terrible at giving speeches, presentations. Once I stopped giving a shit, it went a lot better. You have to. You have to. The internet's a cruel place, and I don't think anybody is immune to like having it hurt. But it's a learned thing, and not caring really helps. I used to be terrified of it. When's the last time I actually spoke in public? Actually, I do quite often now that I think about it. I used to go speak at panels at rehabs and stuff like that, and oftentimes they were like at Betty Ford, and it's not called Betty Ford anymore, but in Ranch Mirage, I used to go to Hazelton, Betty Ford, and it would be like an auditorium style, and I would share my experience, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it would be like I've given presentations at, it's like in front of like 200 people, and I have to speak for 45 minutes. I don't care anymore. I don't know how it is. I don't know why that is. I just don't care. I don't know when the last time I spoke in a large group, like a larger than 200 people. Oh no, I had to speak at the university in front of that was kind of weird. Yeah, that wasn't that bad. That was probably like 1,000 people. It was only for like 5 minutes. It was about 6 years ago. While his special controls the battlefield and his ultimate unleashes a devastating... His ultimate unleashes a devastating attack. Blastaar is... If you're thinking about doing any kind of any kind of like YouTube or Twitch, my suggestion is to do it yesterday. Blastaar is also fortified with heals, barrier, drain, making him difficult. Now, let's with heals, barrier, drain, making him difficult. Yeah, I don't buy into like waiting. Making him difficult to just do eliminate. Now, let's talk about the bomb burst, light the fuse. It's part of his kit. It's similar to that of charge, but it is not charged. So it doesn't get charged. So it doesn't get countered with a character like Gore, but it kind of works in a similar way that charge does. Blastaar's... Did I make any other big errors towards the end of the video? I might stop editing this. Is this bomb blast status effect that both... See, I find that this is just tedious. I feel like this is a job AI should do. I hate to say it. Status effect that both protects Blastaar and pulverizes enemies. Bomb blast is a neutral status effect similar to charge that Blastaar gains through his basic or passive abilities, as long as... I really feel like this should be done by AI. I really do. Because what I'm doing here is pretty tedious. And I feel like AI can figure this shit out. Passive abilities, as long as he doesn't possess silence. Give it a few years. I go to a trade show here in Vegas that's called the NAB show or NAB show. I don't know, NAB. It's a national broadcast, and the Adobe Premiere always has a booth there. They're working on it, I promise you. Doesn't possess silence, and I believe silence is going to be the next cure. I already pay a fuck ton on this. I mean, I pay a monthly subscription for Photoshop and Premiere. And but Kat and I can use it. But if I think about how much I've spent on this program over the last 10 years, it's thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. So I'm not paying for shit. Cure all counter. Franklin will have the silence, the first character with it. They've also added in silence. They kind of just slipped this in, like essentially was like a. They kind of just slipped this in, like essentially was. Slipped this in, essentially was like a small nerf to Odin, where. Nerf to Odin, where they said this character cannot gain any new negative effects except silence. Well, yeah, I do think this is going to be one of the jobs that is Nerf to Odin, where they said this character cannot gain any new negative effects except silence. Well, that's. Rip jobs, right? I probably won't even have a job. Well, that's the thing. Silence is going to be kind of the next meta, maybe in the same way that like trauma and safeguard. I don't know yet. Dropping. I actually don't understand silence, like fully yet. I don't. I mean, conceptually, I get it, but I don't get it. Like I need to play with it more. And dropping down negative effects. You know, the duration was the counter to trauma and safeguard, and. And safeguard, and now we're going on to something else called silence. I mean, it's the progression of the game, hence also the kits are a lot more complicated, and the passive awakened ability seems very powerful. Blastaar's speed bar can't be reduced. That's only through the awakened passive, and we have no idea how that's going to be released, whether it's going to be through money or through event or placement, or if it's going to be an auction. No idea. Gains 20% speed per bomb burst via. I saw somebody was saying silence was not working correctly. Exactly. Exactly. Auction. No idea. Gains 20% speed per bomb burst via. Speed per bomb burst via awakened passive. They've been quiet about silence. Now, later when we go into the kit, my understanding is that this is tied to Crucible only, so keep that in mind. And this is the mechanic that can be shut down the way that the new Emma shuts down like Man-Thing's passive. So this is not turn meter, this is actual speed. I do, but I need to put this out now. Or speed up. And he's in Serbia. I promise he's 9 hours ahead of me, so that means it is 1 in the morning there, probably right now. Up gains additional focus for himself and all allies. Basic blast. Basic abilities feed Blastaar's bombast. Not only does Blastaar's basic grant him bomb blast, but anytime a non-summon ally uses their basic, Blastaar Blaster will also gain a bomb blast. And then there's some complicated. It actually adds a lot of time too, because I have to upload it and then he has to download it and then he has to re-upload it and he has a slow internet and then I have to re-download it. In his past, if I have Kat edit it, it's a lot easier because Kat can go in the other room and do it, and then she can upload it directly to YouTube and title and thumb it, and that sidesteps a lot of the back and forth handoff things. That kind of work like an assist, but they explicitly are not an assist. They are similar to that of Kingpin. And passive that kind of work like an assist, but they explicitly are not an assist. They are similar to are not an assist. Pin, and it's they outright stated in the video that he's going to be very good with. No, I'm just going to cut it out. Watch, it'll be gone. It won't even be there. I just took it out of the video. That's also something. Not an assist, and it's they outright stated in the explicitly are not an assist. They outright stated in the video that are not an assist. They outright stated in the video that he's going to be very good with Kahori. We'll talk about more of that here in a minute. Stack Bong Burst on Blastaar. Yeah, I did it more than once. Well, we got rid of that one there. Once I get to the second one, I'll probably stop. On Blastaar and then of the battle into a crater. Gains piercing per bomb burst, and piercing, my understanding is piercing is 50% ignore. %, ignore of defense, which in some games that's very powerful, like armor, percent armor, ignore is kind of the way it is. It's piercing. On Crucible offense with +3, he reduces the duration of all enemy positive effects by 3. This is on the ultimate. I'm gonna go try see it tomorrow by myself. I was trying to get out to do it on Saturday, but then Kat's doing the thing and I can't. And then she wants to go see it on Tuesday, but I don't want to get it spoiled. So I'm going to probably go see it by myself, is what I'm thinking, tomorrow. Ultimate, which has no cooldown. On Crucible offense with 4+ bomb burst, he gains drain for the attack. With 5+ bomb burst, he gains crit chance for the attack. A Crucible offense with 5+ bomb burst, he reduced speed bar of all enemies. It's bonkers. He seems like an auto win button. And I think Quasar, to a certain extent, is that in war as well. He's kind of like a I win button, and I'm largely right with the right team comp. And I think Blastaar is going to be that way in Crucible. Traits, villain, cosmic, bio, Blaster, legendary. I've got bio highlighted there because we've got Fantastic Four right now. I think once you have, I hate this. Once you have unlocked I need to just probably stop editing and upload this. I don't think I had any. Did I do it? Someone said I did the Kingpin thing twice. Unlocked Professor X. There's some characters worth considering to continue your journey on the Gear Tier 20. And a lot of people are taking up Fantastic Four MCU. I'm not talking about Human Torch or Thing. I'm talking about Franklin being of the highest importance, in my opinion. Then we've got Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman. Now, keep that in mind that Blastaar is bio also. I'm not really sure when this is going to start. I'm guessing this is a month away, maybe more than a month away, but I'm not 100% sure when the first people will be unlocking Blastaar. Speed of 127. Now, yeah, I just don't like it. I want to skip to the passive and work backwards because it's kind of hard to get understanding of what his kit does. And this is a little more complicated than I would like, but let's get through it. On spawn. Gain defense up for 2 turns and safeguard for 2 turns. That's kind of a scary combo. No immunity though, but if you think about Quasar, right? That's a thing right there. When a non-summon ally uses their basic attack. So this is not an assist. This is worded very specific. When a non-summon ally uses their basic attack. And that is kind of similar to that of Kingpin, which has it on Quasar, right? That's a thing right there. When a non-summon ally uses their basic attack. So this is not an assist. This is worded very specific. When a non-summon ally uses their basic attack. And that is kind of similar to that of Kingpin. I'll just take out pin and just make it say king. Of king, which has it on their king, which has it on king, which has it on their ultimate ability. When this when this character or any astral ally has possessed at the end of that character's turns, and when any non-summoned ally turns, and when any non-summoned ally uses their ultimate ability. So this is going to feel familiar in that it is similar to that of Kingpin. The way in that it is similar to their ultimate ability. Explicitly is not an assist to that of Kingpin, the way it works. Explicitly ability. Explicitly is not explicitly is not an assist. And what they're saying in the strike time video is this makes him synergize very, 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 very well with Kahori. And that Kahori plus Blastaar is going to be crazy. They said it outright. Attack primary target for damage plus piercing. I am going to wrap this up. If this character does not have silence, gain 1 bomb burst up to a maximum of 5. And then on Crucible offense, to charged mechanic. Character cannot gain slower speed up in Crucible, gain 100% focus. Then also, this is outside of Crucible with the Awakened ability, which is going to make the Awakened ability on Blastaar the most important. Plus 100% speed. That is very, very, very fast. So let's look at the ultimate. When it has a lot of the no cost. Attack all enemies for piercing. This attack gains additional benefits based on the number of bomb burst on all enemies by 3. So that is like Sable. That is like. All right, I'm almost done. What's up, Scoop? Scope 45 coming in for 11 months. Thank you, sir. The more bombs you have on him, the less healing. Okay. Gain 1 bomb burst up to a 5. So, if he's going into an ISO attack, he's and Captain Britain, Silver Sable. War. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Bye for now. Yeah, I cut it down by a minute and a half. I probably could have cut it down by another minute if I would have played with it for a while. All right, let's turn some music on. And we will. What is this Super Scroll thing? Just blitz once with Super Scroll? Is that all it is? Well, yeah. Let's see if this, I haven't had any upgrades today. I suppose I could have upgraded Hip Monkey if I wanted to. I think I might have a diamond written. I'm not sure. Can't remember. I feel like I have one diamond on him. There, I got my dopamine for the day of actually having some incremental upgrade. What's up? Bye. Are you going to book or I don't know where you're going. Oh, have fun. Okay. Oh, that's not true. I also upgraded Teenage Warhead. So that counts as an incremental upgrade also. I guess I had 2 incremental upgrades today. I haven't. You're on red still. I'm sorry, Sage. Yeah, I haven't got to that one yet. I got a couple here. I haven't read that. Ugh, they're adding up. I hit the ground running today, and I just haven't read. Oh God. See if I got any upgrades. Yeah, that's okay. So I got 3 incremental upgrades today. Well, how fun is that? Oh wait, 4. Okay, 4 incremental upgrades today. Feels good. I do feel like it's a handout. I think for me, I like it when I have to do something to earn it, and I feel like that was just like, oh, here you go. Thanks for playing Marvel Strike Force. I'll take it though. We're gonna look. That would be also, I mean, I guess that's cool, but I guess it's cool. They always do that. They always put out weird numbers. Well, not always, but I don't think it's particularly unusual.
Yo, let me tell you about Hercules, the new guy in the game. Big muscles, big flex, but there's something kinda lame. They gave him all the strength, the legend, the fame, but look at his chest. No nipples, what a shame.
All right.
But where's the proof? A man so ripped, but he's missing the truth. Even Hulk's got him, green and mean, but
Sing suit diamonds, yeah. Yeah, is the sing suit in that? I didn't see. Was the thing? All right. I don't know if I haven't. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember that. Oh, I didn't even notice. I'll turn it on. What is it under? Oh, is it under the thing? That drives me crazy. Sure. All right, that's it. I'm calling it. Oh man. Oh, actually, I'm not done. I gotta upload that video.
What's the deal, dorky? You're losing grip, throwing fits and toys like you're gonna flip. I'm the storm, you're the snow melting fast. I'm the future of this game, you're the past. You drove trucks, now you're driving folks mad. With your weak ass bars and a beard that's bad. Stick to the north, where it's cold and tame. Cause down here, I'm the one who's running the game. Riff, hit, hard, your words don't bite. You lit the spark, now I'll bring the fight. Checkmate, dorky, your fame's a lie. Angry beard, vibes ain't gonna fly. Game over, dorky, your toys are broke. Your arm wrestling lost, man, you're just a joke. From Canada's cold to your screams of despair, I'm the king of this mic, you're just hot air. Game over, dorky, your toys are broke. Your arm wrestling lost, man, you're just a joke. From Canada's cold to your screams of despair, I'm the king of this mic.
I'm What time is it? 4:10. All right, I'm running out of time. I feel like there's mountains of more anticipation for Fantastic Four, which worries me on some level. They actually said they were not going to rework Doom. They pretty much said they weren't going to, right? Yeah, in the live stream, somebody asked if they were going to rework Doom, and he said nope. He says they're more likely to introduce a variant. He didn't say they were going to introduce a variant, but he pretty much said they weren't going to rework Doom. Currently, he's not on the plan. They also mentioned they said he used Magneto in the same sentence, and Magneto and Doom are not. I don't know how he worded it, but I was like, oh, they're not getting reworked. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic Four don't suck. Yeah, I'd have to go back and get the clip. Essentially, they're not getting reworked. Why is this taking so long? Yeah, the messaging pretty much said kind of like they're not reworking characters like Doom and Dormammu, and they didn't mention Dormammu, but they mentioned Magneto and Dorm. I don't know what that meant though. I have to go back and rewatch it. Okay. That's fantastic news to hear. Fantastic Four is good. Thank you for that. I wonder if it's available tonight. Oh, I'm not gonna wait for this. Twitch. I'm antsy. And I got Grand Arena time. Let's go here. Diamond Dave. Don't like what? All right, have fun with Diamond Dave in the house. Bye.